we hustle, but the night we know that the ride or die.
Welcome to the House of the Princess.
I keep well by my seat. Know that the ride or die.
I'm 50% righteous, 50% ratchet.
We hustle, but the night we well by my seat. Know that the ride or die. My name came up a lot of sounds. More when
Thank
I was
y'all
not
for joining
around.
us.
Certain people that I know.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the House of the Princess. My name is Princess A.V, and you are now watching me here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I just want to start off by thanking everybody for coming. We're going to get somewhat serious, but not serious tonight. So I got some things to say. I wanted to do this live like for a minute now. So I've collected some little things here and there off of Instagram, and I didn't even look to see what I had in Facebook, and Instagram and X or Twitter. They call it X now, but my Twitter. We're gonna talk about some politics and stuff now. Look, okay. Y'all sharing the live over there down to the Facebook. I appreciate it. I hope that you have shown some manners and you have pressed like to the video. I think I already said it. Let me make sure I've already set it to we do subscribers only here, only to narrow down. Yeah, let me fix that. The trolls in the chat, because ain't nobody got time for that. I thank y'all for who are coming in, all the new subscribers. I ask that you subscribe to the channel. It's a free way to support the channel. Also, if you would like to go further, you can get the membership. Your membership will have benefits. They've always had benefits, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of fell back on some of them, but I'm kicking it back up. We are having watch parties for the Aunties podcast. I'm also going to put in the chat, I think maybe like on Saturday nights or Friday nights or something. If I'm not doing anything, I'm going to see what my schedule is going to be for the fall. I think I want to have movie nights, and I'm not talking about watching old movies and shit. I pay for all these streaming activities, and especially on Paramount, it's fairly new movies. So we can kind of vote each week and come and watch movies once a week or once every 2 weeks together as a membership. And I think that might be good for people who aren't able to see, certain things. And I forget to watch things in that come out. I got Netflix, Peacock, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and something else. Yeah, Zeus, all that stuff. And I'm about to condense all that stuff down. So all that stuff is, within the membership. Tell your friends to come, share this live, like this live, subscribe to this live. I thank you so much for coming. And all that are going to come in, if you're watching this on replay, please press the like button. All of y'all, you can also support the channel by hitting the super chat button on the replay. You can give a super thanks, or you can cash app me. The cash app is on the bottom. I accept PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, and Apple Pay. And did I say Venmo? All that. I always be missing one. But I appreciate any way that you support the channel. Thank you very much, because you didn't have to spend your time with me. You could spend it anywhere, but you decided to be here. And Miss Weedy Pooh, I haven't seen you in a long time. Love you. Miss Weedy Pooh, how are you doing? You see Black Diamond? Oh, she was here yesterday and she left her likes. But I'm sure she's somewhere around Black Diamond. Wendy's back. Yes. Hi, Candace Keys. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing? And Roxy Rocks, how are you doing? So, I just have been, I don't want to say pressed, but it's been very interesting with this election. It is no secret. I am not a Trump supporter. At this point, I will be a Kamala supporter. Here, I am open to what your thoughts is, as long as you don't go over the board with your Trump Trumpism or whatever you doing or going crazy. I'm not for that. You can go to your platform. I misspelled it. You can go to your platform and do whatever the fuck you want to do. But don't do it here. We will be doing commentary on the Democratic National Convention. It is here in Chicago, August 19th to the 22nd. Whether I'm there or not, I will have some type of special credentials. So I hear, hopefully, so that I can review and give y'all play by play of the Democratic National Convention. So I'm still waiting on some logistics and dynamics about that. So yes, I am a Kamala supporter. And let's get right into it with that. As far as I'm concerned, the candidates are Trump and Kamala. I hear there's as many as maybe 6. I just didn't investigate because I don't care. I know RFK is one. Robert F. Kennedy is a contender, and I heard there's a black woman that's a contender. And I hear so many people say, well, I don't like Kamala's policies and what she did in 1999 was horrible, or, all of these things. But then you don't like Trump's policies either. And I'm going to say voting for neither one of them is like voting for Trump. It just is. I try to stay away from I'm a Democrat and you a Republican and all of that stuff. Excuse me, I always drink a drink of water and it makes me belch before the live. If I had to choose a party, I guess you would say I'm Democrat, but I don't subscribe to being a Democrat, and I know I don't have to divulge this information to anyone, but I'm just being transparent on my channel. There are times where I do vote Republican. I am not a voter based on the red colors and the blue colors. I am a voter based on, do you do what I like? Do you follow? Do I like your policies? And are you somewhat of an upstanding citizen? Do you at least appear to be? Are you sharing or appealing to my social interests and my policies, things that would benefit me and my family or my community? That's the way I vote. And I am very adamant about voting in your community, voting for the lower levels of government. I have thought about running for government, and it still runs back and forth across my head here and there. But it's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of scrutiny. And that's something to think about. But I'm all for building communities. And people say your vote don't count. It does count. And where it counts the most is, who are you voting for your senators? Who are you voting for your Congress people? Because those are the people that go up to Washington, D.C. and go to your state capital and run stuff. And if they run it into the ground, or if they get together and they choose a candidate like Trump to represent them, it's your fault. Your vote did matter because that's the motherfuckers that y'all wanted there. They're representing you. So by the time we get to the presidency, you done fucked up 4 times. Okay? Before it got up there. So your vote does matter. It matters. And when you split the vote amongst all those 6 people, they're lesser for the other. Oh, sorry, I didn't put myself on vibrate. Sorry, y'all. I know that was loud as hell too. Splitting the vote. Plus, I got more views on there. Bitch, if you don't get out of my shit. Why is she interrupting my live? Evie, you weird. I thought I was blocked. Let me block you so you can stay blocked. How you gonna unblock yourself to come see my chat? Something weird with you. I'm promise you, the law is gonna be somebody gonna be tapping on your shoulder real soon. Keep playing with me. How you got more views of something that I never put up? I guess, honey. I'm in two places at once. You over at Roxanne, but now back to our regularly scheduled program. Was it say? Everybody, please note that had black people had not been in the streets selling drugs, they would never been arrested and charged as per law. Well, yeah, we're gonna get into this. I gotta look up some statistics. Welcome, Aaron. Y'all, this is first time. You gotta break it. MICC California Cutie is in the building. Okay. When you break up the votes, when you have the majority is kind of Republican anyway, and you break up those votes, some of them could have been for Trump. Kid you not. But you're leaning more votes towards Trump and less to Kamala because you don't like them both. And you're saying you don't like Trump. Vote for Kamala anyway, because that's what's going to help her. You're not helping yourself by voting for the other people, which you know for a fact will not win. And they don't have the money to win. They don't have the representation to win. Okay, what is this? Is those your cuties? What are those? The orange dots. What does that mean? It doesn't help your cause. You have to, I guess, at some point, pick what is the lesser of the two evils for you. I'm not saying the Democratic Party is all of that. They're not. But guess what? Both the Democratic and the Republican Party stand for the same shit. They all have corrupt politicians in there. They all have been bought by super PACs. They all have been bought by Chase Bank or some big conglomerate behind them. But you have to think about what is more beneficial for your family. And I'm here. You didn't miss too much, Dina. You can't tell me as black people, and I'm talking to my black people. I know I got some light-skinned people out here in my chat, and I got some people all over the world, and I got some people that's mixed together. You know what I'm saying? I got families that's mixed, the Oreos, we call them over there. Not trying to be derogatory, but I do have family that's mixed. A lot of them. You have to think about what appeal. I'm talking to the people that have black interest. And you're mad because you're saying Obama didn't do nothing for black people. And Kamala ain't black and she ain't gonna do nothing for black people. When you are the president of the United States, you can't just say, I'm gonna do for black people. Why? Because them 4 people that you fucked up voting for, didn't vote for before, are the people who really do the stuff for your committee. Presidents are figureheads more or less than anything. They're the person that goes meets to represent you. But them people in the House and the Congress, those are the people that sit and make all the laws and wheels and deals and whatever. And every once in a while, the president can veto some stuff or say, well, I like to do this. Well, it's just in case Biden want to give us all our money for our student loans. But they won't let them. They say, hell no. Because if he could have his way, he would have it. If Obama could have his way, he would have had it. There's only so much they can do. If you as a person have ever held any type of presidency over an organization or a club and been at the top of something, you would know that you have people to answer to. Now, are the people that you're answering to riding with you and do whatever you want to, or are they not? Guess what? Most of Trump's people, even they don't fuck with him. His vice president does not fuck with him. But they riding for what he say for the most part. Trump's family telling you he garbage. His sister, his nephew. You don't have no parents here to tell you that he trash. His former vice president, as soon as he got out, he was like, I'm good. I'm good on you. They try to take that man's life. believe it or not. As conservative as that man is, at some point he said, "Nah, fam, I can't ride with you like that. You doing too much." And nobody stands up to Trump and just say, "You doing too much." They say he representing us and he gonna help us get our way with the stuff we want to. So we got to give up something. And in the Black community, we don't think about blindly riding behind somebody. And y'all are mad because a lot of people are blindly riding behind Kamala. If the white people do it, why can't we do it? What's the matter with standing with your people? And then after you get her in, you hold her accountable like we stood with you, bitch. So this is what we want. And I don't mean to call her no bitch, but you know, that's what y'all been calling her, bitches and hoes, ever since she announced her presidency. Y'all didn't do this 5 years ago and 6 years ago. I didn't even know she ran before. Why? Because she was one of them third party people that didn't make it. She didn't make it. But now she's made it. And it was designed in a certain way. Hey, it was designed for her to have this moment, whether she makes the presidency or not. What's so hard about standing with her? If you're not standing with Trump, what's so hard with standing with her? Why? Because we finna go over all the reasons why y'all don't want to stand with her. Oh, we gonna really go into y'all stay in between this lady legs. So we're gonna go back to some parts of the Republican National Convention. Now y'all were mad, and I asked the girl, I'm gonna really reach out to her for real. She was a model, and I've done like those day things, you know. It's not a fashion model. I forgot what it's called right now. A promo model. She was a promo model for Hulk Hogan because he got a new beer coming out, and she was a pretty black girl. But I have forgot that Hulk Hogan was a racist, and he's had problems with black people. And I used to watch his show. Hell, I used to watch him wrestling and all that kind of stuff. And I forgot how racist he was, and it's disappointing. It's disgusting. And he has collected a lot of black dollars. But first, and I didn't play her first because I really don't care about her too much. Amber Rose came to the RNC, and I'm just trying to find out what crack of hell they found Amber Rose. Like, where did you come from, man? Where did you come from, baby? And ooh, I don't want to go there. But Amber Rose has never been political other than talking about the slut walk and how she's a whore. You know what I'm saying? Amber Rose. No, not that. Oh. You would not think of Amber Rose in any form or fashion. Oh, that's what she was trying to do. Yeah. Any form of fashion when it comes to, sorry y'all, to politics. And if you blindly follow this, she is pandering to the black community. Like, and they made her, she was tolerable enough. She's passing. Okay, half the time we forget that she's black, and she's South African descent, girl from Philly. Um, to get up there, I didn't know she could read, like for real. Like that's what I feel about her. You've been a video model, and made money in your brand off of being whorish your whole career, and all of a sudden we're supposed to respect you. How did they find her to speak at the RNC? Like, I'm trying to think the people that they found speaking at the RNC, like they just had anybody. Like they was like, did you have some volunteers? Yeah, you come over here. All the panders, even Corey Brooks over here. I just don't care for him that much because he just go any which way that the wind blows. I feel when it comes to politics and when it comes to investing in his church, that ain't of God. Like, but that's a whole nother conversation. And all I could say when I saw our Amber Rose at the RNC is, how is it that Trump always know what a hole said? She crawled from the pits of hell. And yes, Hulk Hogan. Amber Rose will never do any more black platforms because what she's doing with Trump. When was she really doing black platforms? That's the thing. The last thing we saw was her fighting with Amber Rose with Jocelyn over there to College Hill. And like, even when she made it there, it was kind of like, where you come from, sis? Like, I think she's kind of goofy anyway. When I saw her talking about she always walking around naked in front of her little son with her coochie out, and she got pictures of coochie all on the wall because you needed to make him desensitized to seeing naked bodies and let him know that it was natural. He's 5. He don't give a fuck about your pussy. Like, he should be watching Thomas the Tank Engine and all that kind of stuff. Like, these people, these type of weird ass people that they surround themselves, it's like, it's not right. And this is who you want to follow? I went back to her now. Let's hey, my BJ. We're going to read this real quick. These are the people, the players of all this. And I feel that this is the only reason why. Let me change my background too. Where I'm at. I'm over here in the palace. I shouldn't be in the palace at all. I should be in the newsroom. She don't do platform. She does the D on the platform, right? It says, matter of fact, I'll take myself out completely. Model Amber Rose is the latest celebrity to reiterate her support for Donald Trump this November, despite the recent guilty verdict against him. Rose, whose legal name is Amber Lovenchuk, said that Trump's conviction in Manhattan court over 34 felony charges of falsifying business records did not change her view of him. She first publicly endorsed him in May during the trial, but confirmed that her continued support in an on-the-street interview. I think it helps him more. Yeah, absolutely. I think people see the injustice of what happened and they want to vote for him more than ever, Rose said at the trial. We just did our research and we're just, we're not brainwashed anymore by the left. I can say that about myself. All these years I've been brainwashed and I'm not anymore. This comes after rapper 50 Cent visited the Capitol earlier this week. He has long been a Trump supporter and maintains his endorsement of the former president. Meanwhile, few celebrities have endorsed incumbent President Joe Biden so far this election cycle. Rapper Cardi B switched from once endorsing Biden ahead of the 2020 election to now not voting for either candidate this year. Actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson similarly rescinded his endorsement of the incumbent. A poll found that 30% of Black voters were planning to probably or definitely vote for Trump over Biden. This is a massive swing from the 2020 election where Biden swept 92% of the Black vote. In 2020, Black voters made up of 13.5% of all eligible voters. According to the Pew Research Center, they're expected to make up 14% in 2024. Oh gosh, these people's got me working today. Now they pay Jimmy. That's not necessarily what I wanted, but that's her. There was an alleged that she had crimes, a case, and it was on Really B's channel, that she had a case concerning like some, what is those NPRs, whatever. She got a case and she needs a pardon. Bitcoin or something, one of those. There you go, crypto case. I'm not gonna play this video. Here we go, and this was as recent as like a month ago. I want you to tell the people, pay attention to the people that they're putting in front of you. And we're gonna run through this quickly. Get you a cool beverage or something. Today we're gonna get down to it, okay? It's not as many people in here today as it was yesterday for the mess, but anybody who I can reach, I appreciate. So here she go. Popular American model and celebrity rapper Amber Rose has been criticized for potentially profiting $350,000 from a meme coin she launched. On June 27th, Amber Rose revealed she was launching Mava, a Solana-based cryptocurrency named after her popular alias, Mava. Promoting the cryptocurrency to her 3.5 million followers on X, the celebrity pledged her support, disclaiming her past involvement with other crypto-related scams. Amber Rose also claimed she would be committed to the new project in the long run and promised transparency and informed communication. Amber Rose dumps Mava meme coin. A few hours later, the Mava meme coin launched to much fanfare, reaching a market capitalization of $24 million. Following this milestone, Amber Rose and her team burned tokens to deplete the cryptocurrency supply and stimulate greater demand as she had promised followers. However, while Mava proudly shared the screenshots providing to the followers that Mava tokens were being burned, what was not disclosed was that the Mava meme coin team was selling tokens. According to the on-chain data shared by self-named crypto detective Zach XBT, Amber Rose's team sold as much as $350,000 worth of tokens when the cryptocurrency's price was in an uptrend. 350K dumped by your team. See you in jail. Zach XBT, June 28, 2024. At the time of writing, Amber Rose and the Mava meme coin team had not addressed this alleged selling of tokens, while the celebrity was encouraging her audience to buy. The cryptocurrency's market cap has since dropped around 12.7 million, a nearly 50% decline from its peak. So what these folks been saying is, Amber knows that Trump gets folks out of jail. And if you become friends with him, he might get her out of jail or pardon, perhaps, if something happens. So just a couple of weeks after that, July 15th through July 18th was the RNC. And she gets up to speak and say, I'm endorsing Trump. This is all a ploy. These people ain't shit in so many ways, right? Now, we have Hulk Hogan, and I'm going to play this video. This just disgusting ass video of how he endorses Trump. And again, these people can do what they want to do. Now, this is the day after he got hit with the glass, or allegedly, or whatever, the assassination attempt was on him. And they were making him a martyr and all of these things. And after Amber Rose, the next night or whatever, Hulk Hogan is up there on the RNC. And this is his speech. Since a lot of you did not catch it, it's some bullshit, but it's silly. This whole election is ghetto on both sides.
Hogan is about to give his remark. Let's take those live.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You know something? When I came here tonight, there was so much energy in this room. I felt maybe I was in Madison Square Garden getting ready to win another world title. Or maybe I thought the vibe was so intense, the energy was so crazy, it felt like maybe I was going to press that no good stinky giant over my head and slam him through the mat, brother. But what I found out was I was in a room full of real Americans, brother. And at the end of the day, with our leader up there, my hero, that gladiator, we're going to bring America back together, one real American at a time, brother. You know something? I've seen some great tag teams in my time. Hulk Hogan and, ooh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage. But you know something? I see the greatest tag team of my life standing upon us, getting ready to straighten this country out for all the real Americans.
What is a real American? And he said this like very, very often during his speech. For the real Americans, is the real Americans only the people that support Trump? Is that what you're saying? Or is it the real Americans only white people? What is a real American? Like, I don't understand. Mm.
You know, even though you guys are real Americans, you better get ready. Because when Donald J. Trump becomes the president of the United States, all the real Americans are going to be nicknamed Trumpites. Because all the Trumpites are going to be running wild for 4 years. So with the power of Donald J. Trump and all the Trumpites running wild, America is going to get back on track. And like Donald J. Trump said, America is going to be great again. You know, when I look out and I see all the real Americans, I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
Sorry. His hero. What the hell has Trump done that would make him heroic? To dodge a piece of glass? Allegedly? Nobody else got hit by it. The problem is, like, y'all let the Trumpomaniacs go wild on January 6th. Like, this shit is ignorant. Yes, please like this video. And then the fact that he went back to WWF, and with the again, this whole election is ghetto. This as far as that shit I like to see when I was a kid, and he would tear off his clothes like, "You're a triple media, brother." I don't want to see it in my politics. I don't. I would go to WrestleMania for this shit. This was literally at the RNC, the Republican National Convention. This was serious. This really happened.
You know something, Trumpites? I didn't come here as Hulk Hogan, but I just had to give you a little taste. You know, my name is Terry Bollea. And as an entertainer, I love you too. And as an entertainer, I tried to stay out of politics. But after everything that's happened to our country over the past 4 years, and everything that happened last weekend, I can no longer stay silent. I'm here tonight because I want the world to know that Donald Trump is a real American hero. And I'm proud to support my hero as the next president of this United States. You know, guys, I've known Donald.
Now he finna tell you that they friends. I would like to know who wrote this speech, because I don't think that he wrote this all by himself. And within 3 days, he decided and chose to speak at the RNC. I'm like, did they just put the names in the hat, or they call Trump? Trump was like, "Oh, my boy got to speak. Let my boy speak over it." Like, how did they choose these people? How?
Donald Trump for over 35 years. Hold on a second. Hold on. I just had a flashback. Man. This is really tripping. The last time I was up on stage, Donald Trump was sitting at ringside at the Trump Plaza. I was bleeding like a pig, and I won the world title right in front of Donald J. Trump. And you know something? He's going to win in November, and we're all going to be champions again when he wins. And like I said, I've known that man for over 35 years, and he's always been the biggest patriot, and he still is. He's always told you exactly what he thought, and he still does, brother. And no matter the odds, he always finds a way to win. And when he's back in our White House, America is going to start winning again. You know, guys, over my career, I've been in the ring with some of the biggest, some of the baddest dudes on the planet. And I've squared off against warriors, ooh yeah, savages. And I've even, like I said, body slammed giants in the middle of the ring. And I know tough guys. But let me tell you something, brother. Donald Trump is the toughest of them all. They've thrown everything at Donald Trump.
He was asleep like before this. Like he was asleep, he was tired. But you see he's standing up. Like he likes when somebody suck on his balls and big up him. He loves that stuff. As long as you kiss his ass, he gonna do for you. But we're gonna talk about that too.
All the investigations, the impeachments, the court cases, and he's still standing and kicking their butts. You know, we never had it better than the Trump years. Back then, we had a thriving economy. We had strong borders. We had safe streets. We had peace and respect around the world.
Shit, Bush was better than Trump, and I was a fucking kid. Get the hell out of here.
But then we lost it all in a blink of an eye. Crime is out of control. The border is out of control. The price of food and gas and housing is out of control. And the only person who can clean this up is Donald Trump. You know, guys, I really, really love this country. And I've lived the American dream. And I want my kids, your kids, and all those little teeny Hulkamaniacs out there to live the American dream too. This November, guys, we can save the American dream for everyone. And Donald Trump is the president who will get the job done. So all you criminals, all you lowlifes, all you scumbags, all you drug dealers, and all you crooked politicians need to answer one question, brother. What you gonna do when Donald Trump and all the Trumpomaniacs run wild on you, brother? God bless you, and thank you.
What you gonna do when Trumpomania hits you, brother? These things, like people worry about policies. When your ass is dead, then we won't have to worry about it. There are so many things that are big, and he talks about that at the NABJ. The only reason, right? The only reason why he ran in the first place is because he's bored. He does not take us seriously. It was motivating for the idiots that follow. Let me move my little things over here so I can see them better, and so I won't have to take my eyes off of you guys, my willing participants. Hey, boo! Oh, it was Deb's first day of school today. I told you to get your amenities or get your cool beverage or whatever. Not a cup of bleach. Go get you something. Okay, in the meantime, we're about to have a song by King Wallonius. I want y'all to see this. I got a lot of stuff from the neighborhood talk. Now, mind you, he had just got like the assassination attempt, right? So the people at the RNC decided to put maxi pads and papers and shit all on their ears in support of Mr. Trump to show how heroic he was. Like, this is weird that grown people need to be accepted like this. Like, this is dumb and stupid. $45, $47, like Mike Epps. They sat up there and did this. And they look like idiots. Put a tape on their damn face. Not the fairy tale almost put you to sleep. Well, we're going to wake you up with a sermonic selection by our brother King Wallonius real quick. He wants you to vote.
Watch me go, ayy. Watch me go, ayy. Watch me go, ayy.
We all gonna follow King Wallonius.
I'm at the polls, ayy.
This song's be cracking me up.
Watch me go, ayy. Watch me go, ayy. Watch me go, ayy.
Y'all hit the like button.
Watch me go, ayy. I'm a baddie, so you know I'm about that action. Come November, best believe we ain't lacking. Hit the polls, catch my balance. USA, all we do is win. That's a habit. USA, I never can. Got my stars and my stripes. USA, I love my country and I'm standing on my rights. Lord, it's up. Beat the stroll. I'm at the polls. Now watch me vote. I'm at the polls. I'm at the polls. You but you hear my you does it. I'm strolling to the polls. I swear to God, I ain't scared of you hoes. We outside and we on the way to vote. Them locals politicking for the bros. We on go, cause we ready. If y'all go low, I'll go to hell because I'm petty. I'm sauced up like your grandmama's spaghetti. And when it's over, I'll be dancing in confetti. Watch me vote, ayy. Watch me vote, ayy. Watch me vote, ayy. I'm at the polls, ayy.
Okay. King Wallonius has all of these songs that are silly, but like, yeah, if you gotta play that song, and the whole thing is on Facebook, I mean YouTube somewhere. I get the little clips from Instagram. But if you need that to help you vote, to play it at the polls, volunteer. Actually, it pays pretty good to work the polls. Matter of fact, let me sign up now so I could work the polls for November, because I'm sure I'm a government employee. So I'll be off work anyway. Watch me vote. And I can get that little money on that day, and I'm Dunkin' Donuts and free lunch and shit that day for doing my civil service. I just hate I'll probably have to wake up at the crack of dawn. But volunteer or work the polls, okay? Work the polls or volunteer at your local office for your favorite candidate, even if it is Trump. Like, just get involved. I'm not telling we are a non-Trump channel over here, but I'm just saying do what you need to do to get where you need to go. So at the RNC, Mr. J.D. Vance, and I try to call him Vance because I had a friend, her name was D. Vance, and his name is J.D. Vance, not D. Vance. We're going to talk about like his saying, like he didn't like Trump, and then all of a sudden he's all into what's going on with Kamala's vagina. And we want to roll out the red carpet for AT2. AT2 in the building. Let's start it. Do I want to go to Elon Musk? It's just so much shit. And I got some funny shit for y'all to keep. Let's go into the misogyny and just the vision of Donald Trump. Let's do this. So, in his, let's go to J.D. Vance. Because he's a hypocrite and he's a fake ass fuck. He's poor.
We're always going to have their back. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to back the blue.
Vance writes, quote, I hate the police. Given the number of negative experiences I've had in the past few years, I can't imagine what a black guy goes through.
And we know the truth, by the way, that our police are heroes and we're always going to have their back. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to back the blue.
Vance writes, quote, I hate the police. Given the number of negative experiences I've had in the past few years, I can't imagine what a black guy goes through.
He's fake. Now, I'm going to tell you, those people, I understand why a lot of rich people and celebrities vote for Trump because he does favors for them and they vote their interest. He leans towards rich people. He's not only racist, but he's classist and elitist. So, like, he votes for his friends, right? So we also have this situation where he said weird shit and says he says he's for black people. He's not. I need a fact checker on deck. Okay. Here's a controversial remark. Hey, Black Diamond. Trump asked a rally crowd, do you want a black president or a white one? Now he ducks and dodges when you ask him these questions. But he said the shit. He said it. He backpedals and pussy pops every time he says something.
Have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price. I think they want the white guy right now. Would you rather have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price?
What is anything? This isn't even supposed to be a black and a white thing. I gotta sneeze. When it comes, it should be about race when it comes to the presidency. But people who want to try and say that he's not racist, he is, because he does the shit in your face.
Get out and vote just this time.
I think I have a longer video of this.
You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote.
You beautiful Christians. I'm not Christian, but come vote for me. You ain't going to have to do it anymore. And if, they asked him a question at the NABJ and somewhere else, and he did not answer the question. Okay, he will double down. He will back up. He will not answer the question. Okay. That's what he looked like to me. Oh, I never liked the way he says black. He says black like those people that be like, I got 5 black friends. I'm black. You know you racist when you say black. I'm black. Christians, when you want to talk about Kamala pandering, he's pandering too. Okay. It's going to be my new Avatar. Yeah, he plays dodgeball. Real good. I know I forgot to get y'all something. Let me see if I can find it now. When he doesn't even claim his son. He says Barron because Barron is special needs. That is Melania's son. This man does not care for anybody. He thinks that his gene code does not compute so that he would have a special needs child. Nigga was old, and she probably had a geriatric pregnancy too. Like, yes, your old balls can produce a special needs child. You're special needs, so why wouldn't you have a special needs child? Okay, let me find out real quick while you watch these couple of things. He's terrible.
And by the way, Kamala will not be your first female president. She will not be your first female president. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a socialist. Look, we're not going to be a socialist nation. We're not going to have a socialist president, especially any female, especially any female, especially any female. Socialist president, we're not going to have it. We're not going to put up with it. It's not going to happen. And by the way, Kamala will not be your first female president. She will not be your first female president. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a socialist. Look, we're not going to be a socialist nation. We're not going to have a socialist president, especially any female, especially any female, especially any female. Socialist president, we're not going to have it. We're not going to put up with it. It's not going to happen.
Where am I at? I'm over here. Now I'm embarrassed that my favorite color is red. He is sexist, racist, misogynist, classist. He has the interest of rich white men. Now, us as women, we are the minority. And he even says she has no minority. Being a woman is a minority. And then a person of color is a minority. She's like a double, triple minority. Are you especially his old self? I found it. Fuck, you never answered his bashing others in the damn slogan. Yes, yeah, and he disrespects her on purpose all the time. And I know some people probably gonna come up here, man. You just spitting propaganda. I'm just telling things as it is. He did this shit. He did this, and these people follow him. They're weird. Where's them three hoes I seen? Where's the video at? I must have lost it, and I have to find it again. Or is it on my Instagram? Well, these old white hoes, like, I was ashamed to say that they were teachers or whatever. This video was just funny to me.
And just bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it. You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it. You can do it, baby.
Like,
I love you so much.
What was he?
And it's bad news.
What
Bad
was he
things are happening.
doing? He's a weirdo. A weirdo. This is him. Oh yeah, this is. He makes it cool. It was always cool to be a racist. They just put laws against it. Now, this lady says you can grab my pussy anytime, Mr. President. They made being classless, and a degenerate okay. And he's not even cute. Like, ugh. Like, are you serious, man? I guess if you get paid the whole, everybody got their price. Here he is talking about his own special needs child and disowning him pretty much. What's going on with the sound? She's got a son together. That's a beautiful young man. Let me see. I don't know why the sound is not coming in. Maybe the sound is taken out. It's on USA Today. Let me find it. Now, granted, this is in 2019, but still, like, he still did it. His laws and his views did not change. This is his child that he's referring to like this. You could tell if you looked at the last election, Barron looked kind of weird. I thought he had something else. He's got like autism or something.
Vaping has become a very big business, as I understand it, like a giant business in a very short period of time. But we can't allow people to get sick, and we can't have our youth be so affected. And I'm hearing it, and that's how the First Lady got involved. She's got a son together that is a beautiful young man, and she feels very, very strongly about it. She's seen it. We're both reading it. A lot of people are reading it, but people are dying with vaping. So we're looking at it very closely. Short period of time. But we can't allow people to get sick, and we can't have our youth be so affected. And I'm hearing it, and that's how the First Lady got involved. She's got a son together that is a beautiful young man, and she feels very, very strongly about it. She's seen it. We're both reading it. A lot of people are reading it, but people are dying with vaping. So we're looking at it very closely.
Who? I'm getting like a 6 red. Who refers to their own children? He's a beautiful young man. Like, we talking about Barron, the youngest one. He couldn't be 6'8". He's only like 10. Maybe 12 or something like that. Barron, like the fact that you would refer to your child as, yeah, she's got a son together. He don't even like her. I think she only got her green card with him. And I've been neglecting the people over there down to the Instagram. Thank y'all for coming, watching, dropping in or whatever. It's sick and weird. What's his name? Donald Trump. I can't even spell his name right. Donald Trump. Trump's son, Barron. Special needs. Concerns were raised about Barron's behaviors and mannerism, leading to speculation about potential autism diagnosis. However, it is crucial to note that such speculation is not based on any official confirmation or public statement from Barron Trump and his family. And that is July 3rd, 2024. Like you never see him speak, and he doesn't have eye contact with the people. He always looks away. Melania keeps him out of it. And even as a first lady, you never really see her do stuff. So I think that he may have something going on. Apparently, I'm not the only one that thinks this, because there's a lot of shit out here. But I had heard that that was a possibility, that he has autism. And I see stuff as late as a day ago asking, does he have special needs? How could he be, wait, 2006, 2016, 2026. Oh, he's that old? He's that old. He was born in 2006. Why did I think he was still like 10 or whatever? So they say he's being, it's a chance, I guess. He was born in 2006. 18th birthday of Trump. Okay. Well, he needs to knock the shit out of his daddy. How about that? How tall is he? How much does he weigh? He's 6'7". Net worth $2.3 billion. That's interesting. Well, I don't care that much about him. We're here to talk about Kamala and what's his name? Donald. Yeah. He doesn't have any compassion. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, he's off. He just graduated high school. Okay. I don't know. You don't. She does. She used him for a green card. As much as he talks about immigrants, she did not, in fact, have a green card until she married him. That is a fact. But people don't pay attention to these things. So I don't have much on JD Vance, because I don't care about him, because he's a phony. And I saw his wife, and I'm sorry to talk about her, but we're all fair and love and war. She did not look like she had a stylist at all at the RNC. Excuse me. She was dressed like she had just been tussling with the kids. Okay, she must know that in order to be the vice president or the president's wife or whatever, you do still have to keep a certain type of look and a certain type of standard, despite whatever your customs may or might not be. Put on a hijab if that's the case. But we know she's not going to do that with Trump, because he doesn't like Muslims and Muslims either. Okay, and he's very racist to that. If you're in America, they don't want you to wear that shit, because he's going to think you're a part of the Taliban. So she had to wear regular clothes. So she is also of Indian descent. Heard that she's a very smart lady, but she didn't look like shit at that goddamn RNC. JD Vance's mother is a former crackhead. She's 10 years clean. Ask Trump when they win, and she celebrates her 10 years clean in a few months, could they have a party on our dime pretty much to celebrate that she is clean? Do it like everybody else do. Go over there to the NA or whatever. Go to the backyard of your house to celebrate your mama no longer a crackhead. After you sit up there and talked about how she abandoned you and was selling her body for money and crack all your life, and you just managed to get it out the mud. They wanted to appeal to the poor people, because Trump doesn't care about the poor people. Okay. Right. And then, yes, this part. And Melania sitting up there with her titties out as the first lady, and you want to be all up in Kamala's coochie. Okay. I have a problem with that. And yes, she looked like a disgruntled housewife. She looked like, why you make me come to this shit? That's what she looked like, you know? Okay, and here we go. Now, this was his answer about when he was backpedaling and pussy potting about the Christians and voting.
Attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that. I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians. Almost, I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this
Of course they
administration,
like you
okay?
if they can.
Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And if I might say, before I go into the other, Jewish people, if you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined, because nobody's ever been treated so badly by this. This administration is destroying Israel, et cetera, et cetera. So with respect to like a statement like I made, that statement is very simple. I said, vote for me. You're not going to have to do it ever again. It's true, because we have to get the vote out. Christians are not known as a big voting group. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them. You never vote. This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. I won't need your vote. You can go back
So
to
you meant you don't have to vote for you because you have 4 years in office.
Look.
Is that
Christians are known. You know who else doesn't vote? Gun owners don't vote.
But just to be clear, what you're saying, though, you're not saying it's being interpreted as you are not surprised to hear.
No,
by the left as well. They're never going to have another election. He's saying there's not. So can you even just respond to that?
I said Christians. I started off by saying, just so you understand, you never vote. Christians do not vote well. They vote in very small percentages. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're disappointed in things that are happening. But for a long time, I say, you don't vote. I'm saying, go out. You must vote. November 5th is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. Whether you vote early or not, we should have, by the way, one-day voting. We should have voter ID. We should have proof of citizenship. And we should have paper ballots, okay? That's what we should have. But we don't have that. But I said to the Christians in the room, thousands of them, I said, typically Christians do not vote. Why it is, I don't know. You're rebellious. Something's going on. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. I don't care, because we're going to fix it. The country will be fixed, and we won't even need your vote anymore, because frankly, we will have such love. If you don't want to vote anymore, that's okay. And I think everybody understood it. I didn't know there was any.
Yeah, well, I mean, because they're also attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that. I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians. Almost, I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this administration, okay? Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And if I might say, before I go into the other, Jewish people, if you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined, because
this is terrible. Terrible. His rhetoric. Oh, thank you for keeping us well informed. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm trying. I'm behind, but like, this stuff is ridiculous. I've just been collecting. That's why this live is going to be a little long, because I've been collecting this stuff over time. Christians vote, Jehovah's Witnesses don't. It's the thing that he could say that Christians don't vote when America, even though this is the town of the thieves and the degenerates who were sent over by Europe and all of that stuff. American was built on Christianity and white Christianity. So how can you say the Christians don't vote when most of the stuff in the Constitution, the preamble, is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for y'all, but not us, not all, for y'all, okay? It's the most important day to keep on your ass out of the way. Yes, they talking about Kamala and her word salad. He has word salad and he just talks fast. And I just found out, I knew he was a Gemini, but his birthday is the day after mine. So I know how you can fuck around with some words and semantics and little things and go, and you would think you said something, and he's doing that on purpose. So you won't catch him up in a lie. So he just won't say it at all. I don't care, even discuss the insane, no matter what the context. Like he says what he says, and these people who are less than smart are following up behind him, and they're endorsing. Oh, he has all of our policies, and you know he's a smart man, and we'll follow him into the hell. You know, okay. I did watch the longer version of this, but we're gonna watch the shorter version of this as well. And these women degrading this woman coming into office.
Dramatically changes Donald Trump's odds of winning.
I might have to
I'm worried about it.
Yes. I think she's going to go for the minority and female and younger voters.
Progressive. Everybody's excited about her, and that scares me. You know, because Trump has to reconfigure where he's going and how they're going to outsmart her.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was supposed to be doing, and then charge them. I mean, as a school teacher, if I did not do what I was supposed to be doing, you better believe my job would be in jeopardy.
That you can't walk around the desk.
It isn't.
So I don't.
Not only was her job not in jeopardy, she was just handed a promotion.
Is there anyone that Kamala Harris could appoint as her vice president that you would find reassuring? Would make you consider voting for her?
No, never consider voting for her. No. I know RFK Jr. way before. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And she's not the first woman to run for the presidency. Hillary Clinton. I'm assuming no one voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So it's not necessarily going to sway you to vote for a woman in office. When do you think America will have a female president?
When there's a competent one, I don't get a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot.
Right.
Mary, why do you think that she's not that bright?
Because she hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. We don't know anything about her as far as her 3 years so far in the White House. She's not real smart. That's my opinion. I could be wrong.
If Vice President Kamala Harris wins the election, do you think that will be an honest result?
No. No one respects her.
So Harris, as the nominee, dramatically changes Donald Trump.
I was looking for the actual video. Trump was building the wall and couldn't. Keyword outsmart her, so he doesn't have the brains to outsmart anyone. Yes. He's putting it into place where there will be election. Yes, he's been trying to do this for a long time. The problem is when he says he say, he figure. Yes, but for me, these I'm gonna call them females, like these so-called women will sit here and disparage a woman. Like, we forget that sometimes women, we tap into misogyny as well, right? They don't believe that a woman could be president. And sometimes I think us as women, a lot of things that maybe we shouldn't do, because our emotional capacity, or sometimes we can't do it bodily. But the way they disparage her as if they were Trump sitting right there. Like, I think it's disgusting. And to sit up there and side with these people right after he put the people on the Supreme Court to vote against abortion rights. to vote against you being able to do things with your own body, to take away your rights. Yeah, women. Because first it's going to be blacks and then it's women. Women were the last people to get rights. For them not to respect us as women, and we are reduced to what's between our legs instead of what's in our heads. That's what's messed up. And the people, they think because they're white women that they're going to have a few more rights. No, not at all. This is a thing for white men. And they will respect a black man because he's a man before they would accept instruction from a white woman simply because she's a woman. We didn't think a jackass could or would be president either, but it happened. That part, I know I woke up that morning, I almost cried. I woke up like, I know you fucking lying. I know you lying, okay? I just couldn't believe it that these people did this. Like, I was like, what? What? So he's telling you, like, women cannot be president because she's a woman. And then she black, but he didn't know she black, okay? Y'all heard him say, do you want the black woman or the white guy? I want you to remember that, because when he came to Chicago yesterday, he pulled the shit and he said he didn't know she was black. Okay, remember that. Then there's this chick here. Let me get all these little things, these little blurbs of stupidity out of the way.
Okay, Trump 24 or before. What does that mean to you?
He's already president. He's already president. He's our president.
Meaning Donald Trump is president now?
He's president now. I believe he is.
How would that work? Because Joe Biden has been the president, right? He's
been the president. Obama said that he would like to run a third term if he could sit in his basement and call the shots, and that's exactly what he's doing.
But you just said that it's Obama's third term, but also that Trump is president.
He's calling the shots of all this mess that's going on right now and all the disasters that he's caused. Yeah.
But how is Obama calling the shots if Trump is still president?
Obama is sitting back and telling Biden what to do.
Well, what is Biden if he's not the president?
He's a bumbling fool right now.
Well, why would it matter if Obama was telling Biden what to do if Biden's not president?
Say that again.
Why would it matter if Obama was telling Biden what to do if Biden wasn't president? Okay, Trump 24 or before. What does that mean to you?
He's already president. He's already president. He's our president.
Meaning Donald Trump is president now?
He's president now. I believe he is.
How would that work? Because Joe Biden has been the president, right? He's
been the president. Obama said that he would like to run a third term if he could sit in his basement and call the shots, and that's exactly what he's doing.
But you just said that it's Obama's third term, but also that Trump is president.
He's calling the shots of all this mess that's going on right now and all the disasters that he's caused. Yeah.
But how is Obama calling the shots if Trump is still president?
Obama is sitting back and telling Biden what to do.
Well, what is Biden if he's not the president?
He's a bumbling fool right now.
Well, why would it matter if Obama was telling Biden what to do if Biden's not president?
Say that again.
Why would it matter if Obama was telling Biden what to do if Biden wasn't president.
And these stupid people are out voting, okay? And I'm telling y'all, please vote. Even if you want to vote with these stupid people, just vote.
Okay, Trump 24 or before.
That, you know, I'm not voting for Kamala because I don't agree with her. I'm not voting for her because he's black. These people are voting with him and they don't have common sense. Okay? It's okay. Get out there and vote for this lady. Help yourself. All of these things, and these people are telling you that they don't have your black ass and your poor ass and your female ass best interest. Okay? Say stop lying about Obama is somewhere in the Hamptons looking at this stuff, shaking his head like, child, please. Okay, so now we come to Kamala. And the day that she started saying that she would run for president, she wants to be the delegate, then they started out with all these videos. Okay, and the lady came out and said, oh, she's stupid. Y'all have not thought about this woman like this, right? And all of these tweets and all of this stuff coming out, right? So now you have Baller Alert, where Donald Trump tweeted, crazy Kamala Harris voted the worst vice president in American history, needed a concert to bring people into Atlanta Arena, and they started leaving 5 minutes into her speech. I don't need concerts or entertainers. I just have to make America great again. And this was yesterday, you know, day before yesterday. Did we not just see him have Hulk Hogan at the RNC? What the fuck you mean you don't need entertainers? And I went too fast. I was supposed to go somewhere else first, but he has all kinds of entertainers for him. I do have the recording of whatever when Barack and Michelle endorsed Kamala for president. But then you have people like this. I ain't gonna play it because it's unnecessary at this point. Whoa, Vicky. I don't be knowing these hosts. These are people that come from like Zeus Network and all kinds of stupid stuff. Like people that we don't care about. And apparently she's a panderer to black people, from what I heard. She said Kamala Harris is a witch. Is she a sandwich, baby? Which one is she? And if you can't see this and you're watching on the phone, so that's what it says. Kamala Harris is a witch. If she don't know Kamala Harris, we'll never know Kamala Harris, okay? You will never be in the same zip code as Kamala Harris, right? But as soon as that came out, she's pandering to black people at the same time. You call her a witch. What has she done to you? And I know there are some people we've debated about policies. You know, they all have issues. Again, I don't think that she what's the word, exempt from making mistakes or making knowingly fucked up shit. So did Joe Biden. But they also atoned for it and said they were sorry. Maybe they would have changed the decision, whatever. But we can't go on that now. You have a right to change your mind. Are you changing as time goes on? Right? Can you explain what you did and give an account and take accountability for what you've done in the past? That's what I'm looking at. What are your policies moving forward? What have you done recently? What have you done for me lately? And then we can talk about it. Now, this is DJ over here. And you can see that his wife don't care nothing about him. as y'all was saying before, this was them at the RNC. Like, you haven't seen her since Heck was a puppy. I think they live on separate parts of the house. Like, she didn't even kiss him, right? He told her something in her ear. Like, thanks for coming. Yeah, good job. Fuck you, bitch. That's that, and I'm saying that's what she said. She's like, oh, I gotta hold your hand. He had to buy her a purse or something, to get her to come outside. She really needed that green card. She had sex with him. She got all her family green cards. She got a mama over here and a daddy and them over here after she married him. She probably waiting for his ass to die so she can get part of the inheritance. She do not like him. She took one for the team. And if you're going to be a hoe, this is the way to go. Okay? Not the index card. He's a hero. What do you mean? You hating on him? Right, because this is his daughter more than his career. She was like, don't put your nasty lips on me. She probably let him hunch on her and didn't even kiss. Like, for real. Here we go.
Seems to understand what I mentioned earlier. That a full awareness of what his team might want to do could make it less likely that he still gets elected. He's saying he doesn't even really know who these folks are, and he's not a 2025 guy, though he also even then said he wishes them luck. Here's what he said 2 years ago, though.
Heritage does such an incredible job, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
Heritage is going to give you a written plan, and they have. And now that plan, and this is the only good thing you can say about transparency, even with all the cynicism out there, that plan has started to get noticed. Indeed, we told you last night, it has been Googled more in the last week than Taylor Swift herself. Some of that Googling may be just curious. Some of it may be people who like the ideas, but apparently a lot of them don't. Donald Trump now, this month, claiming he has nothing to do with 2025. Donald Trump himself seems to understand what I mentioned earlier, that a full awareness of what his team might want to do could make it less likely that he still gets elected. He's saying he doesn't even really know who these folks are, and he's not a 2025 guy, though he also even then said he wishes them luck. Here's what he said 2 years ago, though.
Heritage does such an incredible job, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
Heritage is going to give you a written plan, and they have. And now that plan, and this is the only good thing you can say about transparency, even with all the cynicism out there, that plan has started to get noticed. Indeed, we told you last night, it has been Googled more in the last week than Taylor.
So he wants to disown Project 2025, even though the Heritage Foundation that wrote the 900-page document, 140 of the people that are in membership of the Heritage Foundation worked for the Trump administration. He tells y'all people what he said, but yet and still you will get people saying it's fake news. He said it. What the fuck you mean? Excuse me? I'm trying to stop cussing. Act like I got some class here. Okay? And this is after he got shot. Donald Trump took a bullet for this country. If you're voting for anyone else, you can go fuck yourself. And that's where I'm at. And he didn't take a bullet for this country. Even if he had got shot, he ain't took a bullet for me. So someone reacted and said, I took bullets for this country. I took IEDs for this country. I took 4 stabbings, all in Afghanistan for this country. Fuck you, bitch, and fuck him too. The only thing he took for America was advantage of you dumb fuck nuts like you and the entire nation. End quote. That is found on Twitter and on Hollywood Unlocked, okay? And so quickly after Kamala has, how long has it been? Like a week? All hell has broken loose since she said she would like to be the delegate for the Democrats. Hey, Dabs. And let's start off. She already had like a schedule because she is the vice president of the United States. From that point is when these people started talking under her clothes. This is the most classless shit I've ever seen. We don't talk about Trump and how he has sexually assaulted all these women, how he's a 35 count felon and counting, how he has had to pay all these settlements of what he's done to these women, how many baby mamas and wives he's got. Y'all have not talked about her sexual history at all in all 6 years until now that she wants to be the president. And I found it interesting that is the best that these people have to come against her, is to say that she's a whore. And she fucked her way to the top. There's no way to fuck your way in the votes, okay? But even if she did, if you're going to be a hoe, be the best hoe you can be. She might can give you some pointers, because some of you hoes is lacking, okay? Not majestic. Majestic into. No, this was the first thing we touched on Agenda 47, which to me is the same as Project 2025. And I might do a whole separate video about that, so we can come to some clear understanding of what it is. So, like, within 2 days, all of these type of attacks have come on Kamala. And this man called her the Hawk Tour girl, which is disgusting. The whole thought of it is just nasty. I mean, if you a freak like that, it's fine, but just the thought of the way it came about, nasty.
Telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
Yeah, and then there's the DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got.
Now, for some of y'all who don't know these terms, where am I at? I'm on 2 screens. DEI hire. The White House press secretary and the vice president of the United States, because they are Black women, they were DEI hires, aka they only got their job because of affirmative action. DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So fuck all the schooling they got and the qualifications that they got and the work that they've done in all of their careers. They got their jobs because they Black and or women. That's what these people are saying. And he called her the Hawk Tour girl. Let me see if I can find this really quick for those who have not seen it. Basically saying, she sucked dick. She sucked dick. What's the sound? Oh no. Let me find the one without that.
Oh, you gotta give that. Oh, you gotta.
God damn it, why can't I just find the silver version?
That hawk too and spit on that thing. He goes.
Oh, I thought I took it off.
Give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
He goes, welcome back. Hawk 2 girl video goes viral on social media. Why is Hawk 2?
In bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
He goes, welcome back. Hawk 2 girl video goes viral.
Low class shit. Now these are the correspondents. The news correspondents on Fox News. They don't have, that's what I'm saying. If she needs to sue the shit out, everybody needs to lose their job. They would be fired, especially if she become president. All the motherfuckers be fired. They come up missing. Okay. He called her the Hawk Tua girl. That's we don't have no class about nothing now. Nothing. Just say whatever the hell you want to. Do whatever the hell you want to. Because it's a black woman or an Indian woman. I don't give a fuck what she is. She could be orange. You nominated an orange man, okay? So also in the meantime, between time, we had this person, and I didn't delve deep into it. He is a Trump supporter, and he went viral because he was on the internet posing as a black woman, pandering to black people. Trump supporter and MAGA influencer Joey Manorino busted for posing as a black woman to attack Kamala Harris.
A black Trump supporter on social media. This is Joey Manorino, and here is his now deleted post. He wrote, quote, "I'm a true black American woman, and I've been black all my life. I was born black, and I will die black. My mommy black, my daddy black. I will never cast a vote for that Kamala Harris woman as long as I live. Trump all the way, all day, every day." Oof, Joey. After he got caught, Joey tried to make excuses as to how this happened, saying his account was logged on someone else's device. Yeah, okay, Joey. This reminded me of another Trump supporter from a few years ago, a white politician from Pennsylvania named Dean Browning, who wrote, quote, "I'm a black gay guy, and I could personally say that Obama did nothing for me. My life only changed a little bit, and it was for the worse. Everything is so much better under Trump, though. I feel respected, which I never do when Democrats are involved. These Trump influencers probably have thousands of fake accounts to try to scam voters. So just remember, don't believe a big Trump ally was just..."
My thing is, they call themselves speaking in our language or speaking for us. Well, we don't speak like that. Even the most ignorant people don't say, "My mommy black, my daddy black." Like, we don't speak like that. The fuck out of here with this. And then he did say, like, somebody hacked into his account. And at the bottom, he says, "Kamala has officially secured enough delegates to be the Democrat nominee. So screw the 15 million votes cast during the primary for Joe Biden. Let's just pretend that all that didn't happen, and let's just coronate a woman into the presidency who has no reason to be there other than she checked the DEI box for Joe Biden in 2020. The Democrats can never talk about democracy again. The left keeps trying to say that Kamala Harris is the next Barack Obama. No, the fuck she's not. That's laughable and a complete joke if I've ever heard it. But even if she was another Obama, Obama never had to face Donald Trump. If he had, he would have lost just like Hillary and just like Joe, if we're being honest. Hey, aren't you a black woman in your spare time, motherfucker? Well, hey, that whoever that woman is, that if she didn't allow him to use her picture, she need to sue him too.
That I'm a black woman and I've been black my whole life and I've got a black mother and a black father and all of this stuff. And suddenly they say I'm doing blackface all over Twitter and I'm faking that I'm you and I'm supposed to be Laverne Spicer now. And I'm sitting there and I know exactly what happened. We both know, I think, what happened. It's the case of people being logged into multiple devices, such as I worked on your campaign for what, 4 years? We've been working together on your campaigns.
4 years.
That tweet last time you dictated it to somebody, right? Or you tweeted it yourself. The one that you were talking about Kamala.
Yes, I had tweeted it myself. Yes.
Yeah. What happened here is pretty simple. It's not me cosplaying as a black woman, and it's not you being dictated as a black woman what to say by a white man. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and it's insulting.
Once again, I don't need anybody to speak for me. When I tweet, those are my tweets. That's how I feel about, the liberals when I say it, and how I feel about Kamala. And when I say she's not a black woman, that's what I meant, and that's what I said.
It was about, I think, 12 o'clock in where I am, and I see on my news feed that I'm a black woman and I've been black my whole life, and I've got a black mother and a black father.
This shit is stupid. There's so much to cover. I'm not going to cover it all tonight. Not like Project 2025 and some of the other stuff. They're whole separate lives. These are whole separate conversations. But it's like you get inundated with so much information. She don't know how to talk the tweet. They call her and like Joe Brown. Oh, that's what I forgot to look up. And Joe Brown's ass. And the shit he said, he did a 25-minute rant on calling Kamala a hoe. Her shit is disgusting. So the day she got nominated, there was a meeting with not Putin, but Netanyahu about Israel, and she decided not to go. Or she didn't go for whatever reason, which we do not know. Right? At least I don't. And so they were mad that she went. And where's that at? Where do I have that at? It must be on Twitter. I thought it was on Instagram. Oh, okay. So it's at the beginning of this video. So these same assholes over here in Fox, which at first, Trump, I don't like Fox News. Now he don't like ABC. They disparaged her and said she went to go speak to the coloreds. I didn't know I was, like a little book or whatever, like you were colored. She went to go speak to the AKAs or the Zeta Phi Betas this day. And this is what they had to say.
Obviously, you compare him to President Biden, who is muddling his way through speeches. People know he couldn't go more than better, right? Yep, couldn't go more than 15 minutes. She's very good on the prompter. No one even doubted that. She had 3,000 people there. Why are they there? A lot of them has to do with, hey, I'm a Democrat. I thought we were going to go down in flames. Now we have a shot. The problem with Kamala Harris, number one, she has not had her record exploited heavily because people thought and marginalized her. Even in the Democratic Party, they said, wow, what a bad choice Joe Biden made. Number two is she has.
I never heard this.
When she sits down in an interview and says, "Do you want to fund ICE? Where do you stand on Medicare for all? Why didn't you show up?" The most recent decision, already you got a question. She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority, like she can't get out of that. So that's her decision, and that's.
She'd rather go address a colored sorority, like she couldn't get out of that.
her decision, and that's her decision to back up the protesters.
And how about the border? When they ask her about the border, I haven't been to Europe either. Remember, she said that she's the border czar. She didn't go to the president. She didn't go to the border, and now we're learning that two of the border chiefs, the last two border chiefs, she hasn't talked to.
Obviously, you compare him to on Medicare for all. Why didn't you show up? The most recent decision, already you got a question. She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority, like she can't get out of that. So that's her decision, and that's her decision to back up the protesters.
And how about the border? When they ask her about the border, I haven't been to Europe either. Remember, she said that she's the border czar. She didn't go to the president. She didn't go to the border, and now we're learning that two of the border chiefs, the last two border chiefs, she hasn't talked to.
Colored. And be clear, she decided to, to speak to her constituents, her number one constituents and supporters, the Divine Nine. Our money, well, I'm not a Divine Nine, at least not yet, but our black dollars are real, and they spend just like the white dollars. So no, it was important for her to speak to those people. We got another song. There's a reason why I'm playing this. Press the like button, y'all. Press the subscribe button.
You're talking all that mess, so why you hiding? All that ain't talking, all you talking. Talk about something big, you're always lying, baby. I want that smoke. Yes, no, I want that smoke. I want that smoke. Hey, so please stop running.
I said there should have been a woman.
You got something to say?
I said, if you got something to say it in my face. And that was to Trump, right? So he got to talking about all this stuff about the debate, talked about her and that concert, as he says. And that was basically Kamala's response. Say it to my face.
Well, Donald.
Wait, I don't want that version. I know that's why I had it more than one version. They like to put music and shit behind it.
Think about that. So he won't debate.
Here we go.
But he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald. I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you got something to say, say it to my face. Here's the funny thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald. you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you got something to say, say it to my face.
Like they said a lot. Now they all in this lady vagina. Okay, the vagina. I'm almost done. We're at 2 hours. I don't have much more that I'm going to go into. We are going to dip into the NBJ. If you not had seen it, and I think I'm gonna open up the panel, let y'all say a few words if you want. Yeah, Elon Musk. Okay. Before I go to JD Vance, they also was talking about this. Let me open it up. Now I found it interesting. Even my daughter, who's 21, I'm not gonna play it because it's playing Megan's songs. This part right here, Megan performed at a rally in Georgia for Kamala. And me personally, I don't fault Megan that much. Okay. Because she put on clothes for this. She's usually wearing like a onesie. You know, she tried to be blue, and I actually like the outfit. But even my daughter, and she's a novice to voting and just the whole political process. And so she asks me questions here and there, you know, because she doesn't know policy and she isn't deep into things that are going on with the election. So she saw this, of course, on her social media. And this has been trending for the last couple of days. And believe it or not, my daughter, who's 21, said this was a no for her. And I want to make this a point because, of course, they want to pander to the younger generation. And I mean, I might raise my kids different from the way a lot of people do. She said, you know, she's of the twerking generation, but she said voting is serious. We're talking about the president. And she didn't want to see you clapping your ass when we're talking about the election. And I was kind of proud of her for this. You know, and again, I'm not mad. It was whoever decided to employ Megan for this and not better say, well, maybe we need not to do your regular show pretty much, you know, when making money. I'm here for, you know, if Trump can have Amber Rose, if Trump can have Hulk Hogan or Terry Bollea, whoever he was at the moment, for his shit, then she can have Megan. But I think it was more or less, you know, the booty clapping and the stuff. You know, my daughter said that the white man was standing back there and people was looking weird. You know what I'm saying? So this has been like, yes, it's been trending. It's been an issue back and forth today and yesterday on social media. And so, yeah, that was quite interesting. So that was another situation that Kamala was like, if you got all this stuff, say it to my face, because they said, you know, she's out here twerking and not taking shit seriously. But, you know, I guess it's a part of Black culture, but I'm a little bit conservative. And this is what I'm saying. I'm not all the way just Black, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Not the white man was out. We should not go low in my bougie. Right, you know, it was just kind of off to me. But it get it how you can. I guess I don't feel that it made a difference in voting for her, but I guess. Now here we go to this vice president delegate, JD Vance, talking under her clothes. Asshole. We gonna We gonna get your drag your crack baby having ass out in the water too.
Run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? Saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's
so this lady, again, when I'm telling you they degrading women in general, okay, this lady is now being defamed because she don't have no kids. Okay. We don't know if she got a cat. We don't.
Firestorm over these resurfaced comments made in 2021.
Is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
Vance seeming to imply that people without children shouldn't be in government.
You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
Those claims sparking fierce backlash. Democrats opening up a new attack line on the GOP ticket, branding the newly minted pairing weird.
It's not just a weird style that he brings. It's that this leads to weird policies.
It is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird.
Even Friends star Jennifer Aniston, who's spoken publicly about her struggles with infertility, writing on Instagram, "Mr. Vance, I pray that your daughter is fortunate enough to bear children of her own one day." Vance initially offering this scathing reply.
First of all, that's disgusting because my daughter is 2 years old. And second of all, if she had fertility problems, as I said in that speech, I would try everything I could to try to help her because I believe families and babies are a good thing. Obviously, it was a sarcastic comment. I've got nothing against cats.
Vance confronted about the issue again on Fox News.
Do you agree that there are people who very much love this country and are invested in its future, but they also happen to be childless?
Oh, of course I believe that, Trey. And if you look at the full context of what I said, it's very clear the Democrats have tried to take this thing out of context. It's the fact that the Democratic Party has become explicitly anti-family in some of their policies.
Vance's time as Trump's running mate so far, not always going as planned, including this awkward joke about soda that some say landed a little flat.
Well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good.
Trump's critics now questioning Vance's value to the now three-time GOP nominee.
Does he keep Vance on the ticket? Where he already has a whole lot of baggage. He's probably going to be more baggage over the weeks because we'll hear more things about him. Or does he pick someone new? It's his choice.
Now, despite these bumps in the road, former President Trump is ignoring the growing criticism of his choice, continuing to call Vance a great pick, and Trump's allies are echoing that defiance. Tom?
It's been 2 weeks, okay? Vance, you about to lose your job. Like, they don't like him. Like, they bought him. You know what I'm saying? It's something to this dude. But for him to talk about, and talking about my kid is 3 years old, again, that's when we were talking about last night. We get to dragging people. You can't tell people how to feel once you say something horrible to them. Okay? You can't. So, booty show, comedy show. This is not an election, okay? It's a farce. I told you, get your drink. Coming in soon. I almost started day drinking when I came in. But he's so fake. He's fake. You know, I think he did it as he should. in order to enhance his political career, to get where he wants to. But you sit up here calling her a childless cat lady when your mama a whole crackhead. Like, for real though. Like, you don't have room to talk about no woman, especially you're talking about her womb. How dare you? Stay over there with your family problems. And believe it or not, I would rather a woman that doesn't have kids to be able to run the United States because she has time. Kids take away your time, and that means you're going to neglect your kids to be the goddamn vice president or the president of the United States. She's in a good place. She chose her career instead of having kids. They just want you home with your kids, cooking dinner, pregnant, and barefoot. And then what they're saying is the Democrats, and it's not Democrats because y'all Republicans over there, those kind, probably get more abortions than anybody, especially the politicians, because they always cheating on their women. And they sit up there and get their hoes backdoor abortions. They're not worried about taking away abortion rights. Why? Because they got doctors that do the shit in the back room for them for a nice pretty penny. So this doesn't affect them. They curtail the law. They have no ethics and morals. This is nothing about not wanting families. Everybody wants a family. Most people do. You want a father. If you have a baby, you want the father of the children to love you and to be in the home. But I would rather, and I am so pro-life, but I'm also pro-choice because I can't tell you what to do with your body. And I would rather, like that girl Krishan, I would rather she had a termination rather than to have that baby and do the shit that she does to that child and has fucked up that baby's life because she was drinking and smoking the whole time she was pregnant. And the baby, you could tell, is special needs, even though people try to deny it. She ain't shit, her ass in jail, the daddy in jail, 2 ain't shit parents. And you want to bring a child into this world. There are plenty of women out here that, and I see them, they abuse their children because they didn't want them. Or then you tell the people you don't want to give them government assistance and you don't want to give them Section 8 to help them get on their feet. You don't want to give them child care. And Trump was asked about this during the debate and the motherfucker dodged the question and started talking about Joe Biden and end up fighting about golf instead of telling people what he would do for daycare so people can go to work and take care of their children. The problem why we don't take care of our children now, and our children are running rampant, and you have all of this fucking violence, and you have all of this shit that you're hollering about, the crime that's going on the street, because there's nobody at home to raise the motherfucking kids. Because the working class people like myself have to have multiple jobs. I don't think I've ever had less than one job in my life since my adulthood, since I had children. I've always had to have a side hustle. Why? Because you can't afford to live. So guess who suffers? Your fucking kids. There's nobody there at home to raise them like you want them to be. If you want the woman in the home if you want the woman in the home to take care of the children, you need to give the fathers a living wage, or vice versa. There has to be somebody able to be in the goddamn home to take care of your fuckers. Let's be real. They don't give a fuck about us. They care about their lifestyle. Maybe I better around this. That's good. Maybe she couldn't have, and that was another thing. Y'all are all in that woman's vagina, and you don't know her struggles. It's disgusting. You don't know, maybe she had a miscarriage. Some bitch I saw over there on AT2's channel. What is it, Lauren Loomer? One of them hoes, old bare-faced bitch, sat up there and said, I bet she had 16 abortions. Are you projecting much, ma'am? How could you say such a disgusting thing? And this is what I'm saying. Women attacking women. She does. But they're not counting those children because those are white children. And they're not her children. Okay? They call her Kamala. She has children. They're just not biological children. I have about 1,000 children, but 2 of them are my biological children. I'm in the schools and the dance clubs and everything my children ever did. I see parents not there. And I had to step in for somebody else's kid. Every day when I go back to work, and I'm hoping that I can come back and do more content. Last semester, I really can't. And I'm going to have a heavy schedule this semester because I'm almost there. Now, they want me to come back for my master's. And I'm like, oh, God, let me get through this shit here. Right? I work in a financially disparaged area school, and that's how you get your. They gave me the opportunity first, and that's how you get your loans paid. And I see so much absenteeism as far as parenting is concerned. Selfish parenting. They let the kids raise themselves. I am somebody's mama 8 hours to 10 hours a day. I'm their fucking mama. And to some people, I might not be a great one, but fuck you. Go raise yours. And keep your funky ass kids away from me. I have to do more stuff than regular than I ever thought I would have to do for somebody's kids. And when I mean that, shit that you're supposed to learn at home. I was learning how to cook at 6 and 7. Not even because I was made to. I was just in the environment of it, and I wanted to. Then I was given responsibility. Let's wash these dishes. And I was taught. And I had a godmother that she is phenomenal. And maybe one day she'll know that I have this channel and watch me. Maybe she does, and I don't know it. I had a fucking village. I had 3 mamas. I had my grandma. I had more than that. But I had 3 on the regular. My mama. And my mama had to work. And she worked all kind of crazy ass hours. So guess what? My grandma was there. My granddaddy was there. My godmother would take me on the weekends. And even sometimes my brother's grandmother would come and take me. I just didn't like going over there like that. There was somebody else to be my mama. So you talking about her and talking about her womb is just low class. Low moral compass. Low value. How dare you? These men, these white men don't care nothing about us as women, period. No matter what color you are. They don't want to sit with us in the boardrooms. And if you're of any type of color, you're fucked. Asian, black, Indian, whatever. You people sitting up there talking, she ain't black. I don't care if she's black enough. Blendian, whatever you want to call a Blasian. She's a woman of color. She's a woman of color. And what she do with her coochie is none of our business. None of our business. Right. Black Diamond, you got kids. Y'all don't know. It's not about what goes on in the womb. It's the effect that you make on people. This is why we have adoption. So all the people that adopt, they're childless too. I'm 70 years old. You lied. And I've been taking care of my deceased brother's twins since they were 4. And he passed, their mother never wanted them or her family neither. It's a struggle for sure. There's a need for you. And you will be eternally blessed for what you're doing. Thank you. Y'all have nothing. Hey, Mickey G. Y'all have nothing else to talk about but what's going on between her legs. This man sit up there, and I'm gonna play the NABJ interview, but I'm gonna play it like almost on double time and hit and skip, so we won't be in here all night long. But these questions, all of this stuff, it came up, right? It all came up. This next thing, and this is the clip. I'm gonna play the Hollywood Unlocked version. I started listening to the whole interview, and this interview is via The Art of Dialogue. He's like the Black Vlad TV, right? If you go look up on YouTube, The Art of Dialogue, and let me put this in the chat. I think I spelled it right. Art of Dialogue. He did an interview with Joe Brown. You still back there, boo? He did an interview, right? He did an interview. Oh, my back is always itching one spot, and my freaking arm does not reach there. I'm gonna have to just buy me a back scratcher, a good one. He did a 25-minute interview disparaging Kamala Brown and his experience with Kamala Brown. And he called her all kind of whores. All kind of whores. Oh, I'm not sharing this tab. Okay. And it was disgusting. He's disgusting for this. It was just unprofessional. And this is the same. Well, never mind. Let's see what he got to say.
She's a piece of shit. I was in California. She lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than research. She's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that'll get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent. So my thing about it is if I'm crude about it, in this city years ago, I used to represent a whole bunch of pimps and hoes, and I know a hoe when I see one. And I say this, I don't care, women, you do what you want to do if you want to have recreational sex, but when you do the casting couch or anything else for professional purposes to get paid or advance, you a hoe. And she's an old hoe.
How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was looking for this, and the people are saying, oh, you can't hear me. This is the same man that was accused of sexual assault. And Shirley, yes, he's talking about Kamala. This part, sexual assault. Even Shirley Ralph spoke out and said he assaulted her. Is this the same Joe Brown that had to spend time in jail? The same Joe Brown who had a drunk rant because he got fired from being a TV judge. The same Joe Brown who had a lot of black folks no longer support. Who's going to listen to this jealous drunk? And critiques like this are never valid. Judge Joe Brown is a cable channel living room judge who should enjoy his retirement quietly. Miserable old hoe, Joe Brown, shut the fuck up. A despicable thing to say. Joe Brown is a clown. Here we go. Oh, they got it for you. In March 2014, Joe Brown was arrested in Memphis, Tennessee, and charged with 5 counts of contempt of court and getting verbally abusive during a child support case overseen by the magistrate Harold Holm. Okay, in this interview, he talks about his ex-wife got a lot of money from him. This nickel has a jean suit and a jean shirt on. Well, we know that's been out of fashion. Excuse me. Yes. I saw that Joe Brown. He sound mad because he was with the mayor in Cali when she first got into her career. I never knew that happened. Yes. Yes. Sexual assault, even recently. I'm looking. He says that he didn't sexually assault nobody, but I've seen a video. Let me see, 2014. Damn, she dropped something. I heard that all the way through the wall. I seen like he was sitting up there drunk. He was drunk and the Hooters girls, and he was grabbing them on their ass, just like. That's why he probably support Trump, because he's nasty like that. Okay, he's nasty like that. And he was drunk as hell, and them women was running away from him. He's a mean drunk. A mean drunk. Now he denies him and Shirley Ralph had something going on in the past year, and she accused him of sexual assault, and he denies it. But it was some videos. It was from way back, like back when Girls Gone Wild. I can't find it now, but he's no better. If I can find it, I will put it on my PR 613 channel and share it on my regular House of the Princess Instagram, and I'll put it up there. But yeah, he's a pervert. He's no better than anybody else. They're all in just horrible assholes. It's like we're not gonna get ahead. And if you, again, I'm gonna stand with her if she black. I'm gonna stand with her if she a woman. It's simply because I don't like even the policies that Trump stands for. He's straight up telling you what he gonna do and what he don't like to do. You doing some great. And again, that interview is 25 minutes of scathing, just disparagement about her, that, you know, her policies and the truancy. I know that there may have been issues with that, and I don't know all of the policies, but it was despicable for him to speak about her in just a horrible way that she did. Okay, and this was about her daddy, and they're talking about he's not black. Donald J. Harris is the father of Kamala Harris. He is a Jamaican-American economist and professor emeritus at Stratford University, originally from St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, of Afro-Jamaican descent. Harris was born on August 23rd, 1938, to Beryl Crystal Harris, Nee Finnegan, and Oscar Joseph Harris. They say he's 85 years old. This is supposed to be Kamala's father. Maybe she has a stepfather too, and they keep saying he's Irish and Indian. And so again, they into her mama coochie. You know what I'm saying? Talk about what he's doing. Yeah, but I got some twists to do. I'm not done yet. Get that money. Blue. So Jamaican is black. That's why I said she black enough. It's a different kind of race, but in America, you black. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand. I don't understand. They gonna call you a nigger with a hard ER, nigger. Okay, too much. You black, okay? But they trying to say the daddy is Indian, and he's not black. That's
on Kamala becoming the presidential nominee. I'm gonna confess, I wasn't too happy about that, but I'm all in now. I'm 100% now for this reason. This representative from Tennessee, sorry, Connie, from Tennessee, he called her a DEI candidate. And then they start calling her colored. Then they start calling her out of her name. And as a black man, I can't let no white man talk about no sister like that.
Thank you.
And I'm not take offense to it. Because who is more disqualified than Donald Trump? And Republicans are all in because he is the avatar for their grievance. How qualified does a black person have to be? Graduated at the top of her class at Howard, went to law school, was Attorney General of a state, a United States Senator, a Vice President of the United States, but she's not qualified? I'm all in. Because I'm not going to let any white man tell me how I ought to feel about a black person. Stony the road we've trod. On Kamala becoming the...
We need all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Donald Trump barely... Did he graduate college, as a matter of fact? And I heard if he did, it was like C's. Like, he's barely graduated anything. He don't know shit about shit. Other than swindling. And business. And real estate, you know. But he's still swindling or whatever. We got this big ignorant ass building over here, you know, in the downtown area with Trump all across it. Which they had a problem with when he got it. And you want to talk about her qualification. I guess she fucked Joe Biden too, you know, or they just had to hire her because she was black and they wanted to look good. And none since the history of America have they had a black person just anywhere close to vice president. Really. Not even Disney World, huh? Hey, you come in here. You want to disparage this lady and say she ain't qualified, she fucked her way to the top. That's what we gonna say. What happened? Girls.
Say it to my face. Don't be sad now. If you got something to say, oh, then say it to my face. Say it to my face. You saying this and that, you won't step to me because I clap back. Hey, you're a scary man. Why this so scary man? If you're asking a joke, then stop ducking the smoke and say it to your face. Just say it. Say it to my face. If you got something to say, oh, then say it to my face. Say it to my face.
I'm sure he wasn't. He probably one of them frat boys. Right.
Stop being a bitch.
You think
and
he
say that shit.
had these phones?
Don't be a hoe.
Because of him. That he,
You can't talk to me like Joe.
Say it
I think some of the violence was incited because of him. Yes. That's a fact.
If you got something to say, oh, then say it to my face. Say it to my
I don't know how this man does it. This is all AI music. He's created AI music. If there was ever time to be afraid of a black woman, now is the time. Just ask Trump. So yeah, he promotes violence. I would say at this election, if Kamala does win, either way, make sure that you don't have an empty refrigerator. If you have to go also to Sam's Club and get some MREs, do so. They will wage war on black people in one way or another. And I will do another video because I saw something on another video about what a civil war would look like in America, and it will be, different things. How you doing? Hey, Aunt Grace. It will be things not expected. It will be a loss of wages and things torn down, systematic racism, all kinds of things like that. Something to just be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. And then there's this. We're going to go, I think I pulled everything that I wanted to pull so that y'all can get a background check. Press the like button, please. I don't know if the likes are liking. I need to look. Oh yeah, I think it's just one more thing. I need y'all to hit the like as I've been preparing stock up. I was definitely afraid with, oh mama, this is different. Good night. All right. You can catch the rest on the replay. Thank you for coming and staying. It's going to get crazy out here. I've talked about it, but I want to do a whole different live one just to go deep into Project 2025 and Agenda 47. Same thing. We just touched on it. There have been some good lives, even though Amanda Seals be off her rocker sometimes. She has done an excellent explanation of the things on Funky.Neva's channel. She's done a lot. But I know I will be here 4 or 5 hours just, going over just this stuff. It's so much. It's so much going on day by day. I'm just steady inundated with information and things I'm seeing. I'm like, oh my God, Plus, I'm preparing to see what I'm going to do for the Democratic National Convention that's coming up in a week and a half, or they say 18 days. We also want to think about, we support Tesla, and we support X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's owned by Elon Musk, okay? And Elon Musk gives $45 million a month to Donald Trump.
Do we love him? I love him. And I'm constantly talking about electric cars, but I don't mean I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says. And if it's 10% of the market, 12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay. But you can't have 100% electric cars. And so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call him, he's talking about, I got a new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this. No, it's true. The first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket motor engine, come down landing straight up in, no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. And I thought I was seeing things. What is that? And it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then, and you know, Elon, I love Elon Musk. Do we love him? I love him. And another one comes down, and another one, I guess 4 of them came down, 3 or 4, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that? I've never seen that before. Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to 100 years. But it was Elon. Now, think of that. And I called him, and I've always had a good relationship with him, but I called him, and I said, what was that? He said, well, we saved the engines. We saved the engines because it's very expensive to build. So, I mean, it didn't take me long to figure that if you save them, that's good. But who the hell thought you could do that? No wings, no nothing, just like these big, long, massive tubes, and they're landing gently right on the dot. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And you say, how long would it take government to come up with that one? I don't think they ever heard of it. Perhaps they still haven't heard of it. But, you know, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are other. We have to make, one comes down, and another we have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And he's as smart as you get. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. A month. Not 45 million. Gives me 45 million a month. And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here, how you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them. No, he's a make. We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for us.
Elon Musk said, this is false. I have not pledged anything anymore. I did create a PAC that was focused on supporting candidates who favor a mediocrity and personal freedom, a meritocracy and personal freedom, but funding to date has been far below that level. When Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it was electric cars or that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere without any, which subsidies, he'd be worthless. And telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg. And he would have done it. Trump is very big into degradation. That's why he was with that whore. She said he's had a small penis. Okay, because he's into that stuff. Princess, you may have already stated your opinion, but if I may, do you believe the ear injury was set up for him? Kind of, yeah. I did a whole video on it. I did. He's fucktard. He's going to need that money for commissary when he goes to jail after he finished performing for the circuit. And I believe something that is also why they had Biden step down and Kamala to step up, because the Dems were saying like, oh shit, he's pulling all the stops. And so we must pull out all the stops, right? They were really foul. So also Elon Musk, this is not it. Elon Musk put out a video, an AI video. And he put out some other videos too. When I woke up, I saw the shit. It was really just despicable. Again, talking about Kamala. And he deep faked her. Number one. Number two, he also took down the dudes for Trump video. Well, their Twitter account Not dudes for Trump, dudes for Harris. White dudes for Harris. Let me get it correct. He took down their account. Because they were supporting Harris and they succeeded above their goal. They made $4 million in like an hour and a half, 2 hours for Kamala Harris, and they were mad. Saying that evening, hey, red label. He gets small piece, and the girl said he ain't got no dick. It was just, I haven't done a lot of videos. It was a 50-50 news. So what, I have to go back and look. I do know it was 50-50 news. It was a Trump, Trump shot or whatever, question mark. It was, yeah, the last 50-50 news must have been, because I haven't been doing a lot of lives. Where am I? Okay. Elon Musk launched the AI chatbot in November as a vocal alternative to traditional AI. Wait a minute. And now it's turned on its creative. This is why this shit is dangerous. They're going to kill our world with this shit. As CEO of Tesla Motors bought Twitter in October 2022, has since rebranded the social media platform as X and cut off staff members. Musk eventually picked AI's Grok. Yeah, they always do this shit too fast. Like, I can't speed read. Grok as an AI that converses casually with users and can swear at you, available as a benefit to subscribers as the X Premium Plus tier. However, the bot might not work the way Musk had originally hoped it would. When it was asked about Musk's family owning an emerald mine, it slammed the businessman in his response. It says, Elon said in 2014 interview, his family owned the emerald mine, but now claims to didn't. Is he lying in 2014 or lying now? Well, it seems like Elon might be trying to rewrite history here. In 2014 interview, he mentioned that his family owned the emerald mine, but now he's singing a different tune and denying it. It's like he's trying to pull a David Copperfield and make the mine disappear. There has been a long conjecture that Elon Musk's father, held a half share in a mine or owned the entire emerald mine in South Africa. This isn't the first time that Grok has roasted Elon Musk, and when Aravind Srinivas, the chief of tech company Perplexity AI, asked the chatbot to criticize Elon Musk. It called him a delicate little flower. I'm not finna read all this kind of stuff. Y'all have to find it yourself. This is on Newsweek. But real talk, like half of Elon Musk's kids is gay or trans. Like a lot of, like out of 6 kids, like 2 or 3 of them are trans. And he talking about he didn't even know he was tricked into signing for one of them. Like, the shit is weird, okay? Y'all are weird. And he's not with none of the kids, people. Anyway. A deep state puppet. Yeah, here he goes. I'm just trying to find the tweet. I don't want to read all this shit. I keep getting the runaround what I want to do. I saw the ad, but I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Like, he was foul for this. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It pissed me off.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility of debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking. The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring. And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean, Joe Biden. Do you think the country went to over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
This is what we're working with, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're working with, ladies and gentlemen. So, lastly, for the night, these people still have.
As journalists, we use opportunities like these.
I'm going to. Dang, I missed something. We're going to do these 2 videos. And it's going to take a little time. Yeah, they make fun of her laugh. I'm going to play this more at double time because it's a 36-minute video. We're going to run through it. This is Trump here yesterday in Chicago at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention. There was a lot of controversy about him coming, and a lot of people said they didn't want him to come. Yeah, there's AI. Y'all want to play with this AI shit and let them do these re-asking your face and your ass and take your voice. This is the type of shit they could do. I am afraid of it, no lie. Because if they can do that, that means they can implicate you into a crime that you weren't even there for. I'm looking at the long term. The government can do whatever the fuck they want to do to you. Now, if Elon Musk can do it and he's still a citizen, what do you think the government could do to you with AI? And they can use your voice to make a confession. We're gonna run through this really quick. I didn't know I done made it 3 hours. This is long and I ain't made me nothing to eat. So I'm gonna play this at double time. So they said they didn't want him there. And let me be clear, because people don't put out the right information. Kamala Harris could not come to this event. Number one, she was given the eulogy at the Congresswoman Sheila Lee's funeral. The question is, if she was a longstanding Congresswoman, why didn't the president attend? Well, the wannabe president attend, let me be clear. She was a black woman. Trump did not attend the funeral. I don't know if he was invited or whatever, but the vice president did attend and gave the eulogy. So it was either come to Chicago or go to the funeral. She went to the funeral. And he was an asshole for asking why she wasn't there. And other people may not have known, but he knew. He has a brain of a mustard seed. Imagine with some action. And we did that thing about all his kids in 50/50 News. He working on kids like Nick Cannon. And Trump came out with the bullshit.
Both to inform our reporting, but also to help voters understand the choices that they face in a consequential.
Okay, I ain't gonna go that fast. Okay, let me slow down because I know I'm just going to fast forward through some parts anyway.
Historic election year. NABJ has partnered with PolitiFact to fact check this conversation in real time. You can access that feed.
This country, I've done so much for them.
Okay, they were fact checking him.
Who are American citizens to go.
And she got right to the point. And let me be clear. They did start immensely late, so they had to just stop fucking around and get to the point.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black.
Everything is so fucking great that he does. And he really didn't answer her question, and he disparaged her. He disparaged her coming in the door.
It was appropriate for you to be here today. You have.
Wait,
I came here in good spirit. I love the black population, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and.
He keeps lying about all this money that he gave to HBCUs. He could go to hell.
Universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense.
Okay, they did not tell him that she would be there. As a matter of fact, it was told. Now watch this all on more news, because they definitely told us in Chicago that Trump did not accept the agreement to show up until Monday evening. We had already had the funeral arrangements before Monday. So Kamala already knew where she would be. She offered to do the interview virtually. They declined her to do it virtually. Now he complains that he wanted to do it virtually, but they declined him. So he showed up. I believe he came and did it because he really didn't have anything to do. And he said, well, let me see what the niggers with the hard ER was talking about.
And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something was wrong.
I
think it's a very nasty question. I have answered the question. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
He has been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln, aka since 1865, when the Emancipation, really 1863, when the Emancipation Proclamation was ratified. Oh, thank you, master. And ain't nobody helped us black folks since. He give us free.
Other than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
For you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who was the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the
then. Would you give me a definition of
DEI.
that?
Is that what your definition is?
Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question.
No, you have to define it. Define it for me if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black.
Okay, remember, when we looked at the video, he said, you're going to choose the Black person or the white person. And so now, he didn't know she was Black. Okay, I'm going to fast forward to that. And he kept black.
Until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She has always identified as a Black woman.
She turned Black. He's an ass. Fast forward to the next thing.
Why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are Black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people.
Okay, this motherfucker didn't even know we was coming to. He said a lot of the journalists in this room are Black. It is the National Association of Black Journalists. He makes himself look like a clown. These jokes, they write themselves, and they just laughed at his ass. And he didn't even know that they were laughing at him.
That happen to be taking Black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a Black job, sir?
A Black job is anybody that has a job. That's what.
A Black job, you heard him say, anybody who has a job. So if it's anybody who has a job, why not say job and not say Black job?
It is anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr.
they're taking the employment away from Black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. And everybody's been seeing what's happened. The first group of people, the Black population, is affected most by that. And Kamala is allowing it to happen. She's the border czar. She's the worst border czar in the history of the world. There's never been a border czar like this. She's never even essentially been. She said she was there once, but not the right part of the border. So she was a border czar. She's
not the right part of the border. She was the worst border czar. So you see, she goes into talking about how she was Black and just turned Black, and she was the worst czar over the borders. When the question was, what is your agenda here with Black people? He didn't answer the question. He likes to talk around in circles.
crime rate is going down, and our crime rate is going to be a disaster.
Mr. President, I want to get into how you address some of the issues with Black communities. And I say that plural because we live in communities of color that are different. We're not all the same. We don't vote the same. We don't think the same.
Sure.
It's not monolithic. So as you come here today, I want to talk about something that bursts. And this is the weight of the inflation on this country right now. The nonprofit Money Management International recently released data from its mid-year analysis that we have found a 52% rise in people who are seeking counseling for being in credit debt. They're paying for food that is sky high on their credit cards, and now they can't pay that off. The credit counseling nonprofit, MMI, as I said, is saying now that they've seen surges that they haven't seen since we were in a pandemic of people in financial trouble. Much of that falls on the shoulders of single moms, single Black moms, when you look statistically.
Yeah.
How do you turn it around? What's your plan for the Black community when it comes to money?
So, first of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. But so I don't know if they can fix it or do something with it, but I'll do the best I can with it. The inflation is absolutely destroying our middle class, our working class, virtually every class. Inflation is a disaster in our country. Inflation is a country buster.
Okay, so he started talking about everybody in the country. We don't give a fuck. We asked about Black people. He didn't talk about Black people.
So what do you do? What's your plan?
You know what we have to do? We have to bring down the cost of energy, and that's going to bring down the cost of inflation. This was all started with a bad energy policy by Joe Biden. By the way, just if I might, I was running against a man named Biden. You probably saw that. And he was losing very badly in the polls. And then he had a rather bad debate. I would say it was a bad debate. I would say it was one of the worst debates in history. And his poll numbers crashed. And instead of saying, let's keep going and maybe something happens the other way, they said, oh, we're going to replace him. Let's just replace him. That's like you're in a fight. A prize fighter's in a fight. He's not doing well. You say, let's bring in another fighter. So our whole campaign was steered toward him. And now we have to steer toward him. But ultimately, it's the same because they have bad policy. They have policies of open borders, unbelievable open borders, horrible energy policies. They want to get rid of, as you say, gasoline in cars. They want to get rid of oil. They want to get rid of.
He's saying stupid shit. The reason why we need to get down on gasoline in cars is because of the carbon footprint, and we will run out of stuff. We will be like the other countries, like China. They sell air in a can because the pollution is so bad. Like, for real, like we need these types of changes in order to help us. Solar energy, it keeps our ComEd bill down. He don't care because he's got money to pay his. He doesn't have to worry about his lights getting cut off or anything like that. He doesn't care. He doesn't have the same problems. He doesn't care how much gasoline and pollution that his vehicles emit. He's stupid.
But inflation, Harris, is absolutely destroying this country.
Yeah, keep going.
Why should someone like that officer have immunity, in your opinion?
Country and the people in our country. Country and the people in our country. Yes,
Mr. President, can I ask you another question
Yes,
that is also impacting Black
And that's very clear now. Good.
I'm sorry?
It's very clear. I hear you.
Okay. So Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed Black woman, was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity, in your opinion?
Immunity?
Immunity.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't.
The man says he does not know about the Sonia Massey case. He's running for the president of the United States, and he does not know the biggest headline in America of a police officer murdering a schizophrenic Black woman in cold blood. I don't know about that. I've heard about it. Yeah.
It didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me.
It didn't look good, though.
Yeah, well, police unions are not backing this person either. But again, why would
they're going to be charging the officer? I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking about people that are much different cases than that. We need people to protect ourselves. And by the way, in Chicago, as an example, a few weeks ago, July 4th weekend, they had 117 shootings and 17 deaths. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We need to have our police officers have the respect and dignity back. In this particular case, I saw something that didn't look good to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
So can you get a little more specific back to the immunity question?
You know how generic that sounds? I saw something that didn't look good to me. I didn't like it at all. What could have not looked good to him could have been that the white man went to jail. If he didn't see it, like this shit is ignorant.
Who would make those
well, right now, for the most part, people are protected by their unions, by their police unions, or by their police departments. But I'm saying if I felt, or if a group of people would feel that somebody was being unfairly prosecuted because the person did a good job maybe with crime, or made a mistake, an innocent mistake. There's a big difference between.
If they were unfairly prosecuted because they've been doing a good job with crime, who determines that? He never answered this question, right? Trump could say that that man that murdered that lady was doing a good job with crime and give him immunity. There are no boundaries. There's no set words or whatever. Like, for real.
Being a bad person and making an innocent mistake. But if somebody made an innocent mistake, I would want to help that person.
What would those exceptions be? What would determine
you go after somebody and it's a very close call and it's very dangerous. And they have the policeman's life and woman is a very difficult thing because sometimes you have less than a second to make a life and death decision. And sometimes very bad decisions are made. They're not made from an evil standpoint, but they're made from the standpoint of they made a mistake.
So I want to follow up really quickly. I find it interesting because you do talk about reining in prosecutors, especially when it comes to prosecutors that are prosecuting you. Why doesn't that skepticism apply to law enforcement?
Well, I've been prosecuted because I'm a political opponent of two people that have weaponized our justice system. I've been prosecuted. I just won the big case in Florida. Everyone said that was the biggest case. That was the most difficult case. And I just won it. Now, Biden has a similar case, except much worse. I was protected under the Presidential Records Act. Biden wasn't because he wasn't president at the time. And he had 50 years worth of documents. And they ruled that he was incompetent and therefore he shouldn't stand trial. And I said, isn't that something? He's incompetent and he can't stand trial. And yet He can be president. Isn't that nice?
Mr. President,
but they released him on the basis that he was incompetent. They said he had no memory. And
this motherfucker is incompetent. He's incompetent.
A few things that he has said in the past. He said the Democrats running the country are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable.
A hostile judge. At all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a...
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your running mate. He's had a lot of controversy lately, and I want to read you a few things that he has said in the past. He said the Democrats running the country are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. He's not talking here about how great it is to be a parent. He's attacking what he says are the choices people are making to not have children. Did you know that he had these views about people who do not have children before he picked him to be your running mate, and do you agree with him?
No, I know this. He is very family-oriented, and he thinks family is a great thing. That doesn't mean he thinks that if you don't have a family, it's not. I know people with families. I know people with great families. I know people with very troubled families. And I also know people with no families. They didn't meet the right person. Things happen. You go through life, you don't meet the right person.
But he's not just talking about families here. He also says that people that don't have children should get less votes than those that do.
I'm just speaking for myself.
Is that your
I think I'm
position?
speaking for him, too. He strongly believes in family. But I know people with great families. I know people with not great families that don't have a family. And the people without the family are far better. They're superior in many cases, okay? He's not saying they're not. What he's saying is that he thinks the family experience is a very important thing. It's a very good thing. But that doesn't mean that if you grow up and you grow older and you don't meet somebody that would be wonderful to meet and would have been good, that's a bad thing. He's not saying that. My interpretation, you'll have to ask him, actually, but my interpretation is he's strongly family-oriented. But that doesn't mean if you don't have a family, there's something wrong with it.
Just one last point and then we'll move on. Just one of the bedrock principles of American life is one person, one vote. Senator J.D. Vance has suggested that someone who has children should have more votes than a person who does not have children. I just want to be clear here. Is that the position of your campaign?
Well, no, but it's not something I've ever heard before. I can tell you this. Right now you have illegal aliens coming into our country, many from prisons and many from mental institutions, and they want to give them votes. I don't think they should have votes. They came into our country illegally, and they're taking the vote away from all of the people in this room that have been here a long time, that have worked hard, that in many cases, and you'll see this happening, if I'm not elected, you're going to see it happening. If I am, you're not going to have any problem. But you're going to see it happening a long time. You're going to see the people in this room and people outside of this room are going to be losing their jobs to people that have come into this country illegally.
Mr. President, can we stay with just kind of the state of the race right now? Because I felt like that vice president question, candidate question was right in there with that. So let's talk about J.D. Vance for a little bit. He's had some stumbles out of the gate. I don't know if you're hearing what we hear as reporters, but it's been a tough couple of weeks for him. Why did you choose J.D. Vance?
Why
did you choose him? And I'm having a hard time hearing too. Everybody out there can, but
I'll tell you why. I chose him because he's a very strong believer in work and the working man and woman, and especially the working man and woman who have been treated very unfairly, because you have many of them in this room. But you have many of those people, they were treated very unfairly. They worked very hard and they were treated unfairly. He wrote the book that became a bestseller. The movie became a smash hit. He's a very smart guy. Without the benefit of having a family that had contact, like a father that was well connected, he got into Yale Law School. He graduated in 2 years from Ohio State, summa cum laude. I mean, you take a look at his career. It's been an amazing career. He started off at a level with he's a 4-year. He was in the military with great distinction for 4 years. Got out, went into business, became successful in business, very successful in business actually. Did public offerings and other things. And I have to believe in that.
I know that, man.
Somebody that was born in a rough situation. Most of the people know that situation because it was very well documented in his book. And I have a lot of respect for somebody that can use in life. He then goes to Ohio.
We've been together for much of that day. You left to go to Butler, Pennsylvania, and we didn't know what was next.
Yeah.
And 2 days after that,
I cannot understand your microphone.
I know it is really hard for me.
I mean, it's just I can understand you perfectly.
Push this closer.
I can understand you,
Happy to hear that,
but I can't
really
understand Harris.
I have a few more questions
because of the distance, and the mics are really in lousy shape. But I cannot understand what you're saying.
Mics are in lousy
what I wanted to say was the last time we spoke, you said some words that were prophetic, because I asked you who you wanted to choose for vice president.
Yep.
And you said normally it really wouldn't matter what they would, you choose somebody that you think has a future, that sort of thing. But you said these words 3.5 hours before an attempted assassination on your life. You told me that bad things happen, Harris, and that's why this decision is important this time. Bad things happen. You said it twice. When you look at J.D. Vance, is he ready on day one?
Does he what?
Ready on day one, if he has to be.
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact. You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of...
She asked him a yes or no question. And this fucker went on, word salad, word vomit. Yes or no, bitch?
Of a vice president who's outstanding in every way, and I think JD is. I think that all of them would have been. But you're not voting that way. You're voting for the president. You're voting for me. If you like me, I'm going to win. If you don't like me, I'm not going to win.
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in.
JD Vance?
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in. To your point and to Rachel's point, he, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think, my point is here.
It was said in a friendly manner.
My point is, do you think the Republican Party is getting a little bit too judgy about people's lives when you think about abortion or when you think about what JD Vance is saying?
I don't think, look, I think that the Democrat Party is really the one that has the problem. I think they're radical on abortion because they're allowing abortion in the 9th month. They're allowing the death of a baby after the baby is born based on the governor of Virginia. Based on the governor of Virginia, they're
Nobody, in fact, by law, has abortions in the 9th month. Usually they can avoid that. If you're in your 9th month, well, see, here's the trick to it. They're using DNCs if you have a stillbirth or if you have a medical situation and they have to extricate the baby. They're using that in the definition of abortion. Nobody has abortions above the 6th month, unless really after the 4th month. It has to be an extenuating circumstance for abortion. So this is, in fact, a show enough motherfucking lie. Nobody is sitting up here saying, let's have an abortion at 9 months. Nobody.
allowing the death of the baby after it's born. They're allowing abortions in the 8th and 9th month.
Well, Democrats have denied.
I think they're right. And I think the Republican Party is actually much less. I think I've made them much less radical, perhaps. But the Republican Party, what we're doing is bringing it back to the states where everybody wanted it. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservative, everybody wanted abortion brought back. They didn't want Roe v. Wade in the federal government. They wanted it. Everybody
But the
wanted
majority
it
of
back.
Americans oppose Roe v. Wade being overturned.
They don't know about this. Right now, they're voting. It brought it back to the states. Now, I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Ronald Reagan believed with rape, incest, life of the mother. I do. I think most people do. I think most people.
But that's not what they voted on. They don't give a fuck if you
giving it to the people
die or not.
And they're voting. And many states have already voted. Others are in the process of voting. And it's bringing it back to the people and a vote of the people. And it's not at all radical. And again, you have to follow your heart. I happen to believe in the 3.
The people have not voted on Roe v. Wade, nor are they voting on abortion law. The decisions are being made for them by the government. Chicago is a sanctuary city. As much as I want to get out of here and I hate the winters here, but we are one city that you can do a lot of shit. We are very segregated, but it is a sanctuary city where you can come and live. We have crime, but we do not have the top crime rate in America, contrary to popular belief. That's stupid. Yes, Trump said you have abortions after the baby born. That would be murder, not abortion. Yes, and that don't have nothing to do. When they're having a baby or having an abortion, nowhere on the application does it say, are you a Democrat or a Republican? What do you mean? People, women have abortions, period. And white men who are majority in office are making the decisions on if a woman can have an abortion.
3 exceptions. Most people believe in the 3 exceptions. Most Republicans believe in the exceptions. But they don't want to see an abortion in the 9th month or the 8th month. Almost everybody agrees to that. And they certainly don't want to see, in the case of the governor of Virginia, the former governor, I might add, who said, we set the baby aside and then we decide what to do. Meaning, what do? We execute the baby. That's a radical, horrible position. And some people want that. I don't want it. Most people don't.
Thank you. Can I just pivot really quickly to another question about you brought up health, Harris? You're an active man. You see golfing all the time. But if you win, you'll still be president at 82, which is older than Biden is right now.
But not mentally. Look, mentally.
Here's the question.
He shot. But most people, I know many people in their 80s and their 90s that are in great shape. Some of our greatest leaders. You look at throughout the world history, the greatest leaders, some of the greatest leaders in the world were in their 80s.
But here's the question. Would you consider stepping down if you felt that your health was declining? Or would you?
Absolutely.
And who would?
I think I'd know.
How would you make that decision?
I think I'd know. Look, if I came onto a stage like this and I got treated
so
rudely as this woman treated
Oh my goodness.
me, and I'm fine with it because she was very rude, sir. Very rude.
Oh my goodness.
I think I'd know.
How would you make that decision?
I think I'd know. Look, if I came onto a stage like this and I got treated so rudely as this woman treated
Oh my goodness.
me, and I'm fine with it because she was very rude, sir. Very rude. That was a nasty, that wasn't a question. She
Sorry,
didn't ask
you
me
can
a
answer the
question.
question.
She gave a statement. That wasn't a question.
I repeat
You
your
can answer the
statement, sir,
question.
actually.
You said you would. You would.
Oh,
make that
absolutely. If
decision.
I thought that I was failing in some way, I want people to be sharp. I'll go a step further. I want anybody running for president to take an aptitude test, to take a cognitive test. I think it's a great idea. And I took 2 of them and I aced them.
Well, can
I took 2 of them. But let me ask you, I would like to have people running for president, and I don't mean by.
How do you ace an aptitude test and a cognitive test? There's not like a passing grade to them. Either you can understand things and respond to them, or you can't. It's the way those tests work. They find out if you're on the spectrum, which you probably is, or if you're not. I can't believe this woman was married to him for like 20 years. I know she's ready to get out the marriage. Fuck him.
She has been a horrible vice president. She's considered the worst vice president in the.
Oh, then you gonna come to black media.
We have the millions of.
And despair the black
which was the worst, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. What he has done to our country, and her too, what they've done to our country. She has been a horrible vice president. She's considered the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but would you consider taking the cognitive test?
Mr. President,
I would love
and
to
make
do
it public?
Well, I've already taken 2 of them, but I'll do it again.
Mr. President, how do you intend to?
I suggested, Harris, that let's take one. I said, Joe and I will go and take a cognitive test. Now, I'd do it with her too. I would do it with her also.
She had asked him repeatedly, would they give out the results, and he never answered.
But you know what? She failed her law exam. She didn't pass her law exam, so maybe she wouldn't pass the cognitive test.
Mr. President,
You think she wouldn't pass? Just to be clear,
I'm just giving you the facts.
Kamala Harris failed the law exam, but somehow she became Attorney General over California. Disparaging comments.
To be clear, you don't think
how do you intend?
She didn't pass her bar exam, and she didn't think she would pass it, and she didn't think she was going to ever pass it.
She didn't think she would pass it, and she didn't think she would ever pass it. How do you know that, sir? How do you know that? I'm with Black Diamond. Show us a receipt. What the fuck are you saying?
And I don't know what happened. Maybe she passed it.
She did pass it.
There's a man over here. I think he must work.
He says maybe she passed it.
Mr. President, I would love to ask you about January 6th. You called yourself the candidate of law and order.
Yeah.
When Time Magazine asked you if you would consider pardoning all the rioters, you said, yes, absolutely.
Sure.
You called them patriots. 140 police officers were assaulted that day. Their injuries included broken bones. At least 1 officer lost an eye. 1 had 2 cracked ribs, 2 smashed spinal discs. Another had a stroke. Were the people who assaulted those 140 officers, including those I just mentioned, patriots who deserve pardons?
Well, let me bring it back to modern day. Like about 5 days ago, we had an attack on the Capitol, a horrible attack on the Capitol. You saw the people that were protesting and spraying these incredible monuments, bells.
Okay, he talking about the cobblestone and shit that was sprayed and talking about the spray paint ain't coming off the cobblestone. Nobody cares, sir. Answer the question.
Oh, absolutely. I would.
You would pardon those?
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
They've been convicted.
And by the way, the Supreme Court just well, they were convicted by a very tough system. How come the people that tried to burn down Minneapolis, how come the people that took over a large percentage of Seattle?
Again, deflection. He went into a whole bunch of other shit and didn't answer a question. The people are convicted. Would you give them pardons? He should have just said yeah, or he didn't want to answer.
And nothing happens, and nobody ever talks, and nothing happens to those people. But you went after the J6 people with a vengeance. And I'll tell you what about the cops that were, and I'm all for the police, as you know, but what about the police that are ushering everybody into the Capitol? Go in. What about that? Look, nothing is perfect in life, but you have people from Minneapolis, you have people just from 5 days ago in Washington, D.C., they were having fistfights and fighting with the police. They were spraying and destroying, they were desecrating our monuments in Washington, D.C.
Had nothing to do
and nothing happened to them. And you have to doing that. And we're going to win our cases and we're going to be vindicated. But I have to spend a lot of time on that and money. That's what they want. After the election, they won't care. Although in my case, I think they probably will because the hatred is pretty deep. But I'll tell you, they went after me as a political opponent.
What's your first thing?
What do? I close the border. And I do 2 things because I can do a lot of things simultaneously. I close the border. We don't want people coming. We want people to come in, Harris, but they have to be vetted. They have to be checked. They have to come in legally. I want people to come into our country, but they have to be vetted. They have to be checked. So when you say, what do? That, and I drill, baby, drill. I bring energy way down. I bring interest rates way down. I bring inflation way down so people can buy bacon again. So people can buy a ham sandwich.
You're going to do all this shit on day 1.
Again, so that people can go to a restaurant and afford it. Because right now, people can't buy food. Your grocery bills are up 40, 50, 60%. right? She's agreeing to me. Oh, she's agreeing. Thank you. I like you very much.
Mr. President, I think we are.
But it's true. Your grocery bills are up.
He loves a nut hugger, okay?
And then they're mandating that you buy an all-electric car. You know, Elon Musk endorsed me, and he's a friend of mine. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. But I'm against everybody having an electric car, okay? I'm very much against that. You have to be able to, if you want a hybrid or if you want a gasoline-propelled car. But, you know, we have more liquid gold, gasoline, oil, under our feet than any other country. More than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than any other country. I want to use it. I want to use what we have. I want to bring down prices, bring down costs, and I also have to stop the invasion. And remember, they're taking you.
If we had that much, why would we be paying another country to use theirs? You tell me what common sense that makes.
Your jobs. These people coming in are taking your jobs.
Project 2025. I think we have to leave it there by the Trump team. All right. So leave it. That is the last word. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump, for coming today and joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
They've been telling us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, very much. Great
Thank you, Mr. President. NABJ will email out details regarding the conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris in September. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
He's an ass. He's an ass. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, just look up the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, convention with Trump. Is it raining outside? It probably is. You concur. I was like, he's an ass. He didn't answer the questions. And the questions he asked just was in poor taste or just everything. So I'm going to play one more video in the conclusion. We're almost at 4 hours. We did a thing, okay? We did this. This was one of the journalists saying how she felt on the stage with Trump. Now, I haven't seen this myself. And so you're going to get a raw reaction to what I feel as well. He only wants his name in print in our children's history book for his bullshit at the cost of everything. Hey, his boys had to come and get him. Probably did. Okay. He's been the best president of the United States ever.
Go out front now to Kadia Goba. She was one of the moderators you saw on the stage there in that discussion with Trump at the NABJ. And I know, Kadia, you're a political reporter. You report for Semaphore. So when you're sitting out there, Trump comes out. He had chosen to come to this. Obviously, Vice President Harris did not come. He came. He wanted to be there. And then it started out as we just heard. What was your reaction? Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't anticipate that because I figured if the former president made the effort to come to Chicago in front of a bunch of journalists, Black journalists, he would anticipate, certain questions. So I was excited to, do the interview and then immediately kind of sank in my seat once he started essentially bashing the panel.
So, okay. So you're sitting there and he's doing that. And then I was trying to listen as we were hearing those sound bites play a couple of times. At one point, it seemed like people were some were laughing. Then they were clearly upset. How did the audience receive him? And did that sort of shift in those first few minutes?
Yeah, you are right. They were very responsive to first his attacks, but there were also some laughs throughout the course of the 35 minutes. There were audible gasps at one point, especially when he talked about Vice President Kamala Harris not being Black, which was, I think, to a room full of Black journalists was sort of off-putting, but also confusing as well, when she has always presented herself as Black. But it was very interesting. The crowd was very responsive.
Yes, I mean, it was. And as because at one point I did hear some laughter and then those audible gasps that you just referred to. So Kadia, you obviously were one of the moderators. So as you talk about sinking in your seat when you realized how this was going to go, you then, of course, were asking questions. And I wanted to play one of the exchanges that you had with Trump. Here it is.
Would you consider taking the cognitive test?
Mr. President,
I would love to
and
do
make it public.
Well, I've already taken 2 of them, but I'll do it again.
Mr. President, how do you intend to...
I suggested, Harris,
that let's take one. I said, Joe and I will go and take a cognitive test. Now, I'd do it with her too. I would do it with her also. You know what? She failed her law exam. She didn't pass her law exam, so maybe she wouldn't pass the cognitive test.
Just, point of fact, she did fail the bar exam the first time she took it. She did pass it then. It was a district attorney in San Francisco, attorney general of California. So what did you make of that response in the moment?
Also very surprising. And I just immediately remember thinking, oh, is this going to be an attack line on the campaign? I just didn't, it was surprising. I didn't know where it come from. I also didn't understand where, not calling her, saying that she wasn't Black. It was just very surprising. But I was happy we had PolitiFact there to, just kind of push back, if not in real time, online.
Right, to do the facts. Okay, so were you surprised he stayed all 35 minutes given how this went?
Yeah, yeah, we were promised an hour, but it was clear that he had like sort of a hard out, but obviously because he was going to Pennsylvania. Yeah, no, I anticipated him to spend the time. And the time they actually told us he would have to depart, that he did that. I anticipated, I just didn't think that he would come all the way to Chicago and not do this.
Right, and to come all the way to Chicago and do what he did, that is what seems a bit confounding here in terms of the audience. All right, Kadia, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And as I said, you saw Kadia there in the center there, moderating that debate or moderating that conversation with Trump. David Urban and Aisha Mills is with me now. All right, Aisha, so, you heard Kadia. I mean, he was supposed to come for an hour, but, he sat for the 35 minutes. I just can't emphasize enough that he chose to be there. He wanted to be there. And he took his time to go there, right? All of those things are true. So what do you think is the outcome of this?
Everywhere he goes, there he is. Okay. Donald Trump is going to Donald Trump. Everywhere he goes, he's going to be Donald Trump. He has always been just disrespectful and had such disdain for the media, first of all, for Black people in general, and certainly for Black women who are members of the media. You can just roll the tapes back and see how he's treated everybody pretty much who was Black in his press room, but specifically someone who was a friend of CNN, April Ryan, the nasty things that he has come out and said about her. So I wasn't surprised at all that Donald Trump sat there and was so frustrated and just evil to the people who were questioning him and expecting him to answer and account for himself, because that is something that he doesn't do well. He has such vitriol and a horrible recoiling at anyone who ever questions his judgment, who asks him to explain himself, who asks him to back up with facts his positions, his attitudes, his beliefs. And certainly when it's coming from Black women, he doesn't have any patience or tolerance for it. And that's what we saw on display.
So, David, what did we see? What was the point of making a whole thing about whether Kamala Harris was Indian or Black when she's both, and frankly has always openly discussed that she's both? What was the point of that?
Yeah, Aaron, I'm not quite so sure what the point is. Indian, Black, what Donald Trump just said, her race is irrelevant. Her gender is irrelevant. Her performance is what I want to talk about. Her positions are what I want to talk about. And he should have delved into those. He should have said, listen, when he was asked what he did for why should Black Americans listen or trust him now, he got into it a bit and talked about, funding HBCUs and the First Step Act and lowest unemployment African American community. I mean, and empowerment zones, things that his administration did. Stick to the facts. Trump had a good record. The president had a good record as president with the African American community, and he should have spoken about that. Don't get down and get in these petty grievances about things that are irrelevant. When we're talking about Kamala Harris,
this lady's gonna bust up laughing.
We're not talking about the things that matter to people. Her policies. Talk about whether she's for fracking, what that's going to mean to the people in Western Pennsylvania, whether she wants to take your guns away in states. Let's have a debate on the merits. And I would have challenged. I would have said, listen, you're journalists in this room. No one's asked her a question yet since she's been the candidate. I hope you ask her some really tough questions moving forward. I think it was a missed opportunity.
I mean, there's no question. I mean, in a sense, Aisha, that's true. And David obviously is giving, his analysis as somebody, who sees the politics of this and the policy of this very differently than you do. But instead, we're actually now, and he's saying, well, she was she was Indian, and then she turned black. Is that how we put it? So just to go back here, and I know, David, your frustration, but then we have to fact check it, which is, so back when she was running last time, did she indeed identify only as Indian heritage or not? And so back in 2019, here's what she said about being black.
I'm black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of being black.
Absolutely.
And I was born black. I will die black. And I'm proud of being black. And I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody because they don't understand.
Okay.
She's always been
Aaron,
black.
you can go.
Hide from that.
Yeah, but I would say equally go back and pull the tapes. Look at the Sacramento Bee, which is, I think, the paper record in California. It touts, first Indian American senator sworn in the Senate in 2016. I mean, there are some articles out there that you can hang your hat on that says that she was Southeast Asian descent and really played that part up.
Articles and hearing her say from her mouth what she is two different things.
And look, she's mixed.
Right.
She's
But
mixed race.
David,
She's
I mean,
both.
I think you
She's
agree with
both.
me when I say that she's both. Right, she's both. Right, she's
Yeah.
whatever. At any moment, I'm sure, like anybody, when you think about where you came from, sometimes you feel more one thing.
Listen,
than other things.
my
Who cares?
ancestors, my ancestors are half Italian, half Polish. I'm both.
We're not talking about ancestors. Can we just talk about how ignorant this whole conversation is?
She
Yeah,
took
this
the words
is
out
a
of my
biracial
mouth.
Yeah.
woman in America. We're
Aisha,
not
listen,
talking about ancestors off
Aisha.
of a boat. We're talking about a woman whose father was a black Jamaican man, whose mother happened to be an Indian woman. There are many people in this country who are biracial people who absolutely identify as the fullness of who they are. And the fact that you have someone who is a former president that's running for president again, that is making a mockery of the heritage of anybody is really the fine point on all of this that we should be talking about here. It is ridiculous.
Well, I will say, Aisha, I agree with you. It is ridiculous we're talking about it and not talking about Kamala Harris's record. And President Trump put himself in that position. So instead here tonight of debating her failed policies of the Biden administration, we're talking about this. And it's a distraction. It's a distraction in the American people. I'm sure it's a distraction the American people don't want to keep talking about.
I'm just talking and I muted myself. Let me backtrack. We could talk all the way to November, and that's what we need to do. You need to look into what the policies are, the interests, and if you need change, something to hold these candidates accountable for. It was disgusting. I like that lady. I might see if I can get a hold of her. He's trash. And when I say he's trash, I mean Trump. That's in my book. So I thought it was cute. Like, he can do whatever you want to do as a businessman, but not a reality TV star. It might be funny on TV, but I do not like him as the president of the United States of America. I don't. He does not fit. And if nothing debilitating happens to him between now and then, he will keep trying to be the president of the United States until he dies. He plans on trying to get into office and not leaving until he's ready, because he wants to be like his friend Vladimir Putin. And they run or Kim Jong-un. Those people don't vote. Like, they stay until they leave. Either they die or they leave. And that's not what America is built on. We built on a lot of trash. But definitely people don't want you to take their choices away, or America will be doomed. And people will be leaving and going back to other countries if they can. He is not for black people. He is not for women. I don't fuck what you do. Anybody can say, I'm here for the blacks. And this is what I did for the blacks and black job. You're mistaken. And I know some of my friends, they're going to vote, friends and family. I can't make you do anything. I can't make you believe what I believe. But I do believe this campaign doesn't have to be so morally corrupt. It doesn't have to be so nasty. Lying. Yeah, dictators. So what I'm looking for. He wants to be a dictator because he likes for people to suck on his balls. And to everybody, just like she said to him, this election is not about race. It's not about gender. It shouldn't be about class. Don't pick Trump just because she gonna do this. She did this back in 1992, or who she slept with, or anything else like that. If you can honestly say that you've looked at all of the policies of Trump and you understand clearly what he's doing and you agree with it, because I can't understand why a black person agrees with what he's doing. Don't say, well, he did better about it. No. And remember, every moment a person is eligible to change their mind. He doesn't care about your Christianity. He doesn't care about your race other than white. He doesn't care about your gender unless you're a man. He doesn't care about you unless you're just about as rich as he is and you're viable to him. Most of the people watching me are not in that category. Please think about your interest and your well-being long term, not just 4 years, not about the groceries right now. They gonna cut food stamps. Will you lose your job and cut unemployment? Will you can't pay for your mama's doctor bills? They gonna cut out the assistance and the Medicaid for that. Then what you gonna do? They gonna cut out your pension, your Social Security, if you get hurt and can't work no more. There's a lot at stake here. It's a lot at stake. Think about it. And vote for your House or your Senate. See, those are the times that you fuck up 4 times before you get to the president. Vote for your policies and go investigate the policies. Go do research. I know y'all don't like to. Go do some type of research. And if people they want to vote for Kamala for being black, let them. That's okay, because they vote for Trump because he's white. They vote for Trump because he's a man. If you want to vote for Kamala because she's a woman, that's fine too. Not included at the I've been here a long time today. I didn't eat. I thank you guys for coming. Oh God, some messes on the way. Oh Jesus Christ. I thank you guys for coming. You could have been anywhere for these 3 hours, but you were here with me talking politics and watching these political videos and things, and we're gonna keep them coming as time goes. I hope that you press the like button. I haven't even looked at this on this side yet. Let me close all this stuff. Yeah, all of these things I had to open up. I hope you press the like button and show some manners. If you haven't, please do so right now. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one more thing before I say my closing remarks.
Yeah. Got money. Yeah.
Thank you for your cash app, Ms. Marvin. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your people to support me. Okay, the support is very important. It's much needed at this juncture. Been kind of out of work. I go to work in 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Research your people and your policies. Okay. No, I put out some fish. I'm just gonna put it in the air fryer. Anyway, I think you guys do some true crime, baby. That would take some time. Y'all love this little true crime. That would take some time. I got to get some things off my plate before I start doing like story times and stuff like that. Yes, I'm sure. I'm gonna go in the kitchen and see what's going on in the kitchen. I thank you guys for being here. I thank you guys for supporting me and loving on me and doing what it's got to do. You could have been anywhere but here, but you chose to be here. If no one has told you that they love you, I'm going to tell you that I love you, okay? Go outside, get off the internet. I see a lot of these people, including the people that stalking me on the internet, like, ma'am, you need to go outside and touch grass, okay? Some of y'all need to get out of these groups and things and just go do things. Go live life. Lollapalooza is here in Chicago, baby. And these people is here, okay? Outside living life. Go do something fun, because I know I'm trying to when I get spare time. Oh, that's the bus. With that being said, my name, don't forget you can support the channel by liking, subscribing, sharing the video. Tell someone else about the channel. Okay, I lost a lot of subscribers, but I'm starting to get them back. Also, you can financially support the channel via super thanks if you're watching on the replay, super chat, Cash App, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and PayPal. Anyway, I accept everything. Okay. Oh, thank you, everyone. And I'll be back maybe tomorrow, and I'm going to do something. And I'm also going to put on the community tab. Please vote if you want to have like movie nights sometime, okay? And then we're going to do some more crafting conversations. I have a project to start with some shoes. I'm going to put on my community channel. I got like multiple channels. My DIY channel, Princess Tried It or whatever. I got some stuff to put on. So to try to put on those channels and do this content and get it out. I've been a little lazy. I'm trying to flip over and get up and do stuff. But yes, Jazzy, cuz, okay. I want to love on you and show you some love if nobody else shows you love. My name is Princess A.V. You have been watching House of the Princess, okay? Now it's time for me to turn out the lights. Good night. Thank you.